was exciting, wasn't it? As David Brenner introduces me on that legendary television show of his. Good morning, everybody. Good morning to you. Thank you. Thank you. So much to talk about. So many things on my mind. And yes, I want to share them all with you, but I got to warm up. It's nice and cool in here today.
You like that?
Yeah, I'd rather have it be cool than hot. You know that. You know that, Robin.
I just wanted to make sure it was the right cool.
We have a lot to talk about today. Yeah. We have a lot to talk about today. But I have to take a break, or my ass will be in trouble, Trouble,
That's real bad trouble.
Yeah, man. Double trouble, All right, we'll take a break. We'll be back right after these words. Tell Tom.
Back with Ace Award nominee and personal friend of
Tell Tom
Harris.
Oh, shut up. Tell Tom Calasino that I'll talk for 40 seconds and then he can play that. Dummy. Smack that midget around.
Got to play that either coming out or going in?
Yeah, someone's going to remember that. Well, let's play it going in, not coming out.
Yeah, I forgot.
When I'm ready to go, I don't want to hear singing.
Yeah.
Let me hear that jingle again.
You want to hear
Yeah, let me hear that. Let me hear what he thinks is so good. All right, now I see his point. All right, that's beautiful. That's unbelievable. Now, I didn't realize how beautiful that jingle was.
Is there a longer version I want to tape?
Dance mix.
That sells a lot of diamonds, that jingle.
Why didn't he just play that if it's so good?
Yeah, I'll tell you why. Are you? Hey, I got to tell you something. I tuned in Family Feud the other night.
Now, where is that?
That's on Channel 9. It's on every night. I'm not sure what time. I forget. It's somewhere in the 7 o'clock.
Are these reruns or are they new shows?
No, it's the original show. It's a new show.
Okay.
It's a new Family Feud. And what must have happened is they had that guy Ray Combs doing Family Feud, and evidently it wasn't doing well.
Mm.
So now they brought back Richard Dawson.
Is he doing the Channel 9?
Yeah, you got to watch it. You got to watch it.
I didn't know this.
And he's a big fatso now. He must weigh, I don't know, 300 pounds. He's got to be 150 years old. And he's still with the hugging.
He's kissing still?
He doesn't appear to be kissing. He appears to be hugging.
Okay.
Because he's married now to a young Chippy.
Yeah, he got a baby.
He's got a 4-year-old baby. You got to watch this guy. He's so annoyingly bad, and he's such a bore. He was good. You know when he was good? Hogan's Heroes. That when he was good.
100 years ago, though.
100 years ago.
You see how Bob Crane looks.
Yeah. Bob Crane looks better than him. I just had a comment on that he is back and it's awful. Oh. Then the other thing is that I'm reading People Magazine. And by the way, People Magazine has a 2-page article on Richard Dawson with his young family.
With the little baby?
And look at the young athletic wife he has right there.
I didn't see her.
Isn't she nice looking?
Oh, my.
And now she's 39, but he married her. They claim he's 61. I think he's older. But he married her at, who knows how young she was. But he's got a 4-year-old daughter. Here's Richard Dawson with his 4-year-old daughter. You got to get a look at it.
That looks like, Grandpa.
Yeah, Grandpappy Amos.
With his daughter.
Yeah. And he sits there with that Family Feud, and he drags out every word, and he's thinking along. It's so annoying. And he's pompous. And me, I like to tune in at the end of the show where they pick the family that won. They
have that big thing.
Call it the bonus round,
okay.
Robin. And they match up. I like it. I don't mind saying. I'm not embarrassed. I know many people don't admit to watching these kind of shows. I enjoy when the families have to hold my interest. They have to match up. Listen, you can put me down for it. You want to make fun of me? Go ahead. I enjoy it. And they match up at the end of the game. And
he's hard to win a lot of money.
Yeah. And he annoys me. He stops the game. He starts, darling, now what did you say today? He's got he thinks he's a comedian or something. And I got to tell you something. It shows you. Every time I get insecure about my job, where I go, geez, you know, I don't know, this business is rough, you know, there's always someone looking to take your place. You can't get insecure, and I'll tell you why. If the best they could find to take over Family Feud is that old dinosaur, Richard Dawson, if out of all the hosts, all the young people out there looking for jobs, the best they could find is Richard Dawson, it's a pretty sad state of affairs for the broadcasting business. I got to tell you, it's unbelievable. So I never get insecure, because every time I get insecure, I go, Richard Dawson. That's what I do. Because, you know, I'll tell you who's good. Out of all these old-timers, and most of them are gone now, the best one is this Bob Barker. He gets on, he can actually still move a show along. He doesn't get in the way of the show. When I watch The Price is Right, the guy moves the damn show along.
It's still The Price is Right. It's not the Bob Barker show.
That's right, Robin. And, you see, you don't understand this. It moves the show
You're tuning
along.
in for the game.
I like Bob Barker.
Not the host.
Yeah, I like him. But this Richard Dawson gets in the way of the game. I can't stand the guy.
That's why they got rid of him.
Yeah. What is it?
Turns out a lot of people calling
Stuttering John, by the way.
saying that Ray Combs got into a car accident, and someone else called said that he's a quad now.
Oh,
is he really?
Yeah, but he definitely got into a car accident because that was in like the TV guide.
Is he quadriplegic?
Yeah, that's now someone else said that, but that I don't have.
Oh, why can't he still host? Now that would interest me. I'll tell you one thing about Ray Combs. He wasn't an exciting guy, but at least he did the game. But he too started in with the kissing and everything.
Yeah, he got way too involved.
Yeah.
You know that the woman in The Price is Right that we know got something dropped on her again?
You're
know the
kidding.
woman who...
Janice Pennington?
Yeah.
What is her problem?
Anything dropped on her?
Get out of here.
They dropped something on her again.
That's impossible.
This is the 4th time. She was sitting on the side of the set.
Is that true?
I don't know, but I was just saying, I thought this was the 3rd time. You're saying it's the 4th?
I think I could be wrong, but I thought I saw that it's the 4th time in one of the tabloids. She was sitting on the side of the set during a break, and why are they always moving things around her? They were trying to put like a TV set or a TV monitor on something.
Yeah, and it fell on her.
And it toppled over and hit her in the head.
That's
You would think that she has made more money off of suing.
Just happened to be in the front row.
Yeah, right. You would think that she would go hide backstage after all these
And
accidents.
never sit near any equipment.
Right.
Wear armor.
She's like
She's a jinx.
she's like Wile E. Coyote.
Janice Pennington, see if you can get her. I want to interview her again.
I thought I'd heard that a couple of weeks ago, and then when I
amazing.
saw it in the tabloids this week, I said, my goodness, it's true. She had something fall on her.
And every time she gets hit, she has another lawsuit against her own Price is Right.
And they keep
Paying her.
yeah.
Unbelievable.
She's still there.
No wonder her husband ran away.
Yeah.
She was tired of the accident.
Gee.
Then I'm reading People Magazine. People Magazine chock full of things that interest me. And guess who is dating John McEnroe?
Who?
Patty Smythe.
You're kidding.
Our old friend. They're a very heavy item. I mean, they're really shacked up, the whole thing.
Really?
And their children play together. It's a whole thing.
Wow.
Oh, my.
Patty hasn't been on the phone.
No. As soon as she finds... And you know what kills me? I could have gotten her. She asked me out on a date when I was in Los Angeles without my wife. She asked me to go out with her for that night.
You really think she wanted to cheat with you?
Yeah,
Huh?
she did. She even says it.
Oh, yeah.
She said it when she was in here. You know it.
Yeah.
She really did.
That's a lot of that stuff you can't take for the truth.
Well,
I like to.
she invited me out on a
I hate
date.
to say it, but it's another one of the ones I agree with.
Yeah, I know. Believe me, Robin. I'm not blowing smoke up your ass. I'm telling you that this
You
is.
could be right. You could be very right. I'm too trusting of people.
Yeah.
You could be very right.
Yeah.
I don't think that they're the skunks that they are.
Well, Patty's a smart girl. If she's smart, and which I think she is, she's backing up that Brinks truck right into McEnroe's house so she can walk away with a chunk of his dough.
Right. She's getting one in tennis balls.
Yeah, lovely girl. Well, McEnroe has a hard-on to be a musician, and now he's with a musician, so it's very exciting for him, and he'll dump her. He'll dump her. Believe me, he ain't marrying her. That much I can assure you. He will be on to the next thing after that. That is a novelty act.
You know what? I have to complain to you about something.
Go ahead.
You got me into this Libertarian Party.
Yeah.
And I now feel like the voter nobody wants.
Yeah.
Used to be when I was affiliated with somebody else, they'd write me and tell me where I'm supposed to go to vote. They wanted to make sure I got to the polls.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm supposed to go to vote today.
Yeah, well, it has no difference where you go to vote. You go to the usual place.
District. You think I remember where that is?
Oh, for goodness sake. So call somebody.
Who?
Jackie Marlowe.
Jackie Marlowe.
I got to tell you.
I haven't gotten my little notification because I'm a libertarian.
Well, get out of that party already. You know what? You're going down with a sinking ship. What's the matter with you? I must tell you, I watched the debate last night. The supposed debate. Cuomo didn't show up. It drove me out of my mind. Today is election day.
Yes, it is.
And I'm watching George Pataki. And I was very excited because today I saw that in some polls he's within 2 points of winning, which is fantastic. I got to tell you how exciting it was to sit there and watch this guy take on 4 reporters and speak. And it was supposed to be a debate, but Mario Cuomo is so arrogant. I got to tell you, I'm so turned off to Cuomo, the way he's handled this campaign. He's so arrogant. The great orator, the man who can speak better than anyone, supposedly. Pataki is standing up there on a podium, at least defending himself against his reporters and really going under some tough scrutiny. And Cuomo is not there. That is the height of arrogance. Here is a guy who has served for 12 years. I guarantee you that Mario Cuomo will be a happier man if you retire him today. If you tell him he can leave office, he wants to leave office. There is no guy who wants to be the governor who would have sat out that debate last night. He would have gladly come in, defended his record, and taken on Pataki, who supposedly this guy, no experience, nothing. He should have taken him on because Pataki was great. Pataki would have killed him in a debate. I know why he's avoiding it, the great orator. But he wasn't there. I'm sitting there watching TV. I'm going, where's the great speaker, the great orator, they call him?
Did they have an empty lectern sitting there?
No, they didn't. But
they did have.
Pataki went up there, and he said, look, he says, I want to be the governor because it is unthinkable to me that job after job. He started listing the companies that have left New York State and to go to Connecticut, not even to go far away.
That's what I was talking about. It's not like they're jumping a long way away.
Yeah, they're just going to Connecticut to get out of New York State, to get out of the tax situation. And he's saying if someone doesn't start cutting taxes, if we don't start tomorrow working on a plan, we're doomed. And our kids are doomed, and everyone is doomed who lives. And he says, I really love New York. I want to live here, and I want it to be. I don't want to have to go visit my kids in Arizona or Atlanta somewhere because
they had to get out of town. This is a ghost town.
Yeah, he says, I'd like to see them survive in New York. Well, so, they had this thing there. It was supposed to be a debate. Cuomo, of course, can't show up because he's a big wise ass. He says, well, I won't debate unless these other candidates are there. Now, listen.
Meanwhile, he hasn't had any debates with them either.
When he was a guy running for office the first time around, he didn't sit and hold out for other candidates. He made sure he got his ass on TV. He's a big, wise guy. He should be up there defending his record against his major opponent. That's who his challenger is. Who's he kidding? He's a big dope. And I guarantee you, he'd get out of office. He'd be so happy, go around lecture. He was a great orator. He could speak. He could get paid some money. And he'll have a busy schedule. He'll be around. Maybe he'll become a political commentator for Channel 2 like Koch became. You know what I mean?
He'll be a great statesman.
Yeah, statesman. They'll send him over when there's a trouble spot. He'll talk. He'll razzle-dazzle them with those speeches.
But don't you think if he had a great record to defend, he'd be right out there?
Of course he would.
Look at what I've done. This guy has no... All he can say is what I'd like to do. Here is what I've done for you.
I have no problem voting for Pataki. I thought, and as he stood up there and he says, look, he says, I tell you, I haven't had an easy time of it in life. He says, but it was a great ride. My parents didn't have a lot of money, but we came from a loving family. I was able to get into Columbia. I was able to, get into Yale. I was able to do all these things and be successful. And I just think that it's obscene what's going on in New York State. He did bring up, geez, you want me to list the things that are wrong with New York State? 30 cents more a gallon on gasoline than in New Jersey? What more need to be said here?
Why is that?
Why am I paying more for gasoline here?
Cost more to get the money here than to New Jersey? The gas here than to New Jersey?
Absolutely not. There is no difference in terms of geography between New Jersey and New York. They're both in the same location. And one place, just because of a border, pays 30 cents more a gallon for gasoline. How could you vote for Cuomo? What is it that he has done that's so good? Why are people afraid to lose this man?
He's not even telling you that. You see his campaign ads.
Yeah. He's telling you, be afraid of Pataki. I'm going, okay, well, let me find a reason why I'm afraid of him. Well, he's certainly for abortion.
Oh, he claims.
Yeah. Cuomo, he's pro-choice. The guy's on TV goes, how much more do I have to explain that I'm pro-choice? I wrote a bill to the first Republican to write it into the platform to be pro-choice. He says, well, how much more? What proof do you need? So, secondly, I'm going to cut taxes. My plan's a little different than Christy Todd Whitman's. It's not as severe, but look at it and tell me it's not better than Cuomo's. The reporters couldn't even argue with him. And he said, he said on this show about traffic conditions. He's talked about, at least the guy's got some life to him. He's got some energy. Maybe he'll come in and do, if he does 2 of the things he said, I'll be happy.
Well, he's already said he'll sign the death penalty.
So people go, well, Giuliani, everyone likes Giuliani, and he endorsed Cuomo. Well, of course he endorsed Cuomo. Think about it. If Cuomo wins in 4 years when his term as mayor is up, he's the next governor.
Can't run again, yeah.
If Pataki turns out to be a great governor, he's stuck being the mayor for another 4 years, which is fine by me. We'll have a good mayor and a good governor. The only reason Giuliani endorsed Cuomo is because he's afraid Pataki will be too good a governor.
And he'll have to wait his turn.
Because Pataki will be a popular governor like Christy Todd Whitman is a popular governor. I guarantee it. I guarantee people will love this guy. I heard him speak last night. I could see they're going to love him. And Cuomo knows it. That's why he won't stand next to him on a stage.
I have the feeling that you do. The same feeling you had about George Bush.
Yes.
That he was tired of this job.
Yep.
And he really didn't want it anymore, but he didn't know how to say no.
Pataki even said last night he's for term limitations. He says after a while these guys get bored with the job. They get tired. There's just no energy left.
He just doesn't know how to give up the prestige and the perks.
Yeah. It's exciting.
You get you got planes and cars flying you everywhere, getting you everywhere, motorcades.
Yeah, but he has lost his vision for the state. So I pray to God, I know I will go vote today. I pray to God.
As soon as I find out where my polling book is.
Well, it's worth looking into. In fact, I'll tell you who's voting. Ronnie Mund is going to vote. Now, I don't think Ronnie
got registered this year.
Yeah, I don't even think Ronnie has ever voted in an election. And I said, who are you voting for? He goes, Pataki. I said, good. Go ahead. Get involved in the system.
Well, the only way to make this change is for the usually unmotivated voter to get out and vote.
Yeah. Jackie, will you vote?
Yes, I vote every year.
Will you vote for Pataki?
Yes, absolutely.
And what about Fred? You've already said you would.
Absolutely.
Yeah, of course.
My allegiance.
I'm going to do it too. I know Robin is if she can find out where she's supposed to go.
And at first I said, you know how I am. You put any obstacle in my way, I won't vote. So I thought about it this morning and went, I don't know where to go.
Here's the outcome. Lautenberg will remain senator of New Jersey. This is the outcome.
But I just wanted to make the point that now I have to, and I said, but I got to get out and vote for Pataki. So now I got to go find this.
Yeah, you got to, because we're doomed otherwise. We're doomed. And we have a governor whose biggest claim to fame the last 4 years was taking this heathen from Oklahoma and finding him refuge so he wouldn't be executed.
A guy who knew himself that he should be put to death.
And Pataki says, the first thing I'm going to do is get that guy sent back to Oklahoma. I love that. Of course you should do it. Imagine a guy is in Oklahoma. Listen to this. A guy's in Oklahoma. He decides that he's going to rob an old man, and he takes a wire, and he strangles the guy while he robs him. An old man, 80 years old. The guy couldn't put up a fight. The guy had $20, I think.
Didn't have to kill him.
Yeah, so he took him and strangled him. All right, so they get him. In order, this is great, in order that they can't prosecute him in Oklahoma.
No, he had been prosecuted and given the death sentence.
Right, go ahead.
And then somehow New York interceded because he'd already committed a crime here.
They found out that the guy had done this on purpose. After he had killed the person in Oklahoma, he ran to New York and killed someone here the same exact way, just in case he got caught. He knew Oklahoma had a death penalty, New York didn't.
But once he got into this situation, he says, I don't want to spend the rest of my life in jail. He found out jail wasn't so much fun.
Yeah.
And he said, you know what? Give me the death penalty. I've done my crime. I want to pay my penalty.
So you know what our governor does? He sets up a crusade to bring the guy to New York. Now, can you imagine how many people are starving, how many people are sick, how many people don't have money, and this guy is concentrating on saving the life of a murderer, a cold-blooded murderer. I mean, just think, how many times does a governor intercede on someone's behalf? Very rarely. They might see something that touches them in the newspaper. This is what this man chose to get involved with. I don't care.
Not a guy who's possibly innocent.
No, you got to understand. This is a guy who's against the death penalty. I can respect that. But don't go out of your way to save some mutant from Oklahoma when you could, your hand could reach. Go on the street and put your arm around a homeless person and try and get them a job. That I can respect.
Save that person.
Don't save a murderer. Oh, for God's sakes, how could you vote for Cuomo? He's such a loser, and you're all hooked into this. Oh, my God, but if we don't have Cuomo, we're so... Just get out and vote for Pataki. Tomorrow, if I wake up tomorrow and Cuomo's still the governor, I'm going to be so disappointed. I don't believe this. Sheep. They keep voting for the same dopes. There's not one reason you could present to me to vote for Cuomo. There's not one. You can't present one. What, Al D'Amato is behind Pataki? Who cares? That's good. But Al D'Amato's not an enemy of the state. Enough politics. Oh, enough politics. I've talked enough.
You get on that soapbox, you can't get off.
Because people drive me nuts. And you know what? People are looking for an answer. I met people as recently as yesterday who came up to me and said, "Who should I vote for?" I said, "You want to know my reasons? You want an intelligent answer to that, or you want me to just give you some fluff?" They said, "No, I don't know who to vote for." I said, "Okay, look."
Who comes to you?
Please. People come to me for advice.
I didn't know this, folks.
Yeah. People come to me. Fa-fa-fooey. No, people come to me in my personal life. And I must tell you, my wife every day comes to me. Who am I supposed to vote? And my wife is programmed that she's supposed to vote for Cuomo because her parents were Democrats.
Right.
And
she's
programmed.
Democrat.
Yeah, and I say to her, let me sit down with you. And I sat down with someone else, one of her friends. And I sat down there and I said, look, let me explain to you what my feelings are. I went through the whole thing like I just went through it with you. A beautiful discourse. And then that night on TV, she saw Pataki, and she called me up, because I don't talk to her in person. She called me up and she says, I am going to vote for Pataki. I like what he's saying. I said, there you go. What do you act like it's like you're a traitor. I said, what's the matter with you?
Nobody will know. The Democrats won't know.
Yeah.
You voted Republican.
I said, what's wrong with you? Of course you vote for him. I said, what hope do you have with Cuomo? Won't even get on TV and debate. Such a pussy. Because he's embarrassed by what he's done. Nothing.
Now, so you said it's going to be Lautenberg for senator.
He'll win.
It'll be Moynihan for senator here.
Right. That because no one would vote for Bernadette Castro. You would have to be on crack cocaine to vote for Bernadette Castro. She's such a nothing. She's such a nobody. Her daddy invented a couch. Can you imagine? Her father invented a couch. He made a business out of it. And I guess he left her money. And this cow is running around pointing herself off on the public as a candidate for senator. Can you imagine? Not a clue, not an idea, never had to work a day in her life. She's such a nothing. She's such a vomit. Oh. She's such a distorted jerk. She has no concept of what's going on in this state, and she has the nerve to run for senator. I mean, it makes a mockery of the entire system. I'd vote for Marion Barry before Marion Barry I'd vote for before Bernadette Castro. What do you think of that? That's how much I despise her. That's
pretty bad.
Because at least Marion Barry picked himself up by his bootstraps. He might have screwed up, but I'll tell you one thing. Bernadette Castro is one of these people. She sat there like this, like a glom, for her entire life. Dad, you got money? Her father should have taken one of those collapsible mattresses, put her in it, and locked her up inside it. So it collapsed on top of her, it'd snap her neck. She's a nothing. If she died tomorrow, Robin, if she got into an accident and died tomorrow, do you know the planet would not change at all? No one would miss her.
Well, I'm sure her family would be upset.
No, they wouldn't even miss her. No, they would not miss her. She is a brainless skeleton. Oh. You know what that's like? That's what she is. She's nothing. She's lower than garbage. She's worse than garbage.
Her own family wouldn't miss her?
Nope. They would be happy. They would be dancing in the streets. She's a walking void. They wouldn't miss her because they'd inherit all that money, so she couldn't spend it all. They would be happy if she died. She's sucking their money off.
She's just a drain at this point.
That's a family of inheritances.
Well, I was trying to get through the list now. So Moynihan.
No. You mentioned Bernadette Castro. That's it. She's nothing. She's a ghost without the sheet. She's a witch with a platform. She's nothing. She's hideous. She's garbage. She is lower than garbage. And Moynihan, who is so bright and such an intellectual, next to her. The two of them, they have pictures sometimes in the newspaper. Moynihan or Castro. And you want to shoot yourself. Because she's such garbage. It's fun. It's laughable. She's a slug. Only without the sex appeal. A slug is sexier.
Slug has more sex appeal.
Right. I wouldn't have sex with her if I used Fred's penis.
Oh.
What do you think of that?
Wait, what did I do to you?
Whew, I didn't know.
That's how low she is. That's what garbage she is. I would toss her out with the garbage. I wouldn't vote for her for anything. If everyone on the planet died, and now we had
still couldn't run anything.
And it was just me and Bernadette Castro left on the planet, and we had to have a senator. I wouldn't vote for her.
All right.
I would just rather not have one.
What would you need a senator for if everyone else?
I don't know, but they just determined that in order to repopulate the planet and to save everyone, to save humanity, Bernadette Castro would have to be senator. I wouldn't vote for her. What do you think of that? She's lower than a rock on the bottom of the ocean.
All right.
You know, on the bottom of the ocean, you find the rock?
Yeah.
She's lower than that. Keep digging to find her. That's how low she is. That's how nothing she is on the scale of 1 to 10. She's a negative 2 billion. You ever see the chart where man crawled out of the sea? The early man?
Yes.
She's below that.
She's off the chart.
She's off the chart. She's such a nothing, and she does not deserve one vote. Republicans should vote for her. For him. For Moynihan.
Are you done?
That's how bad she is.
That's venom.
I can't stand her.
Well, she's not going to get very many votes.
Good. It'd be embarrassing if she got 2 votes.
And Pataki for governor.
Pataki will win for governor. I really do pray that he will win. I'm behind him. I like him. And I encourage my audience to get out and vote for him. And a little bonus on top of everything, I will be a...
Commissioner.
I will be Commissioner Stern. Which will be the best of all. I will have a place in the administration. And I don't care about polls because, as you know, Robin, I backed him when he was down 15 points in the poll.
That's true.
I could care less about polls. I'm telling you who's the better man. That's all. People are brainwashed with this Cuomo.
The polls mean nothing. It's the vote that counts.
Right. Cuomo, the great orator. Meanwhile, he's nowhere to be found. He won't orate.
Well, 12 years is enough.
12 years. That's all. What do you want? Hello? Hello? And hopefully that lieutenant governor of his will take her oath in a bikini. Ooh, what a hot fox. What's her name again?
Betsy McCoy or something like that?
Very nice. Very nice girl. Top body. Nice hair. Absolutely. Oh, my. You're on the air.
Yeah.
What's up?
I want to talk to Howard. Can I talk
All right, here we go again.
It's a replay of yesterday.
Hey, guess who's coming in today?
Who?
Star Trek.
William Shatner?
William Shatner.
Oh.
Yeah, he's coming in.
That's great. Howard.
I'm going to ask him, what's that squirrel on your head?
Yeah, I'll be around for that.
Boy.
Hey, he ain't bad.
Howard.
I got to ask him, though, why does every Star Trek cast member hate his guts?
In fact, old and new cast. I understand that somebody from the new movie is upset with him.
Everybody, I never saw a guy. Everyone who works with him hates him. I hate him already.
Howard.
Well, first of all, I should tell you some funny things about him. Ralph read the book, so we're just going over some William Shatner notes.
Yeah.
Do you know that after Star Trek ended, he really was hurting for money?
No kidding.
And he had to go back to the theater, and he used to live in the back of a Chevy truck. He drove a Chevy truck, and he would sleep in it.
No kidding.
This is after Star Trek.
Yeah, because, I just see...
that makes sense because back then those guys didn't get paid a lot of money.
Well, also...
and Star Trek was a failed series.
But you think that you could use the recognition to get you something.
Well, he was probably typecast.
Well, also...
No wonder he's angry at everyone.
It says he got divorced at the height of the show, the TV show.
Oh, so she took his money.
Yeah, and then Ralph was saying that either on that divorce or another divorce,
this is his third marriage.
He got sued for projected earnings that he never made.
Oh my God! See, I hate that.
He's now working on another divorce.
Yeah, he's divorcing Marcy, the beautiful Marcy Shatner. But I got to tell you something about William Shatner. What happened to him is a terrible thing.
What do you mean?
Projected earnings. I don't get what these lawyers have come up with new devices to screw guys over with. That is unbelievable.
You know what? You can't have it.
That's like, excuse me, Robin.
Oh, you can't have it.
You cannot tell me that a guy, you're going to predict what he's going to make, and you got to pay up on what he's going to make?
Let me just say this.
How dare you?
You're yelling that women have to get a contract. They got to get that marriage.
They got to have a marriage
Now, when a person gets married, they're supposed to be getting married for life.
All right, yes, but you know as well as I do, no one's married for life. Only Sucker Stern.
Howard.
Guys, I have 5 words for you. Prenup. Yes.
Are you going to do something about this traffic on Long Island?
Yes. If George Pataki wins, I have been assured a place in government as Commissioner of Traffic. And I will have a special number set up where I can literally call and report things that are going on, and traffic will be fixed at night. Do you understand?
I don't really know that you can say you've been assured of anything.
We were assured in pig Latin because he couldn't assure me. Hey, why don't you get him on the phone now? Today's the day. Where is Pataki?
He's probably out casting his vote right now and going nuts, but I'll see what I can do.
Yeah, tell him to call in. Tell him I'm behind him. Tell him that wife of his, too. She could use a good workout.
Howard,
you would like to help her out.
Yeah, I'd like to help her out.
She dug that you called her a piece of ass.
I know she did.
Enjoyed that.
Yeah, all women enjoy that. Well, we have a special hotline. If you spot traffic problems, call 516-922-9463.
And that's where the lady is sitting by.
That's where my office will be set up, and you get a special message.
Good, because I'm going to call it because it's ridiculous. 4 hours getting into work.
It will be Pataki.
Where do you live?
He lives in Alaska, and he commutes to New York.
Sure, that is not a part of New York.
Where are you driving that it takes you 4 hours?
From Babylon.
I believe it.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. He's right. It is 4 hours.
Oh, that's incredible.
Believe me, if I had won as governor, that would have been fixed tomorrow.
I would have voted 20
of course.
times, 30, 50 times.
All right, but at least this guy's going to make me Commissioner of Traffic.
That's good.
Thank you.
All right,
bye-bye. And I'll be sworn in and everything in a ceremony right here on the air.
Well, I'm still a little worried about your just saying you've been assured of a job. That's not possible.
You don't know what I talk about or when I'm off the air.
All I'm saying is you haven't been assured of anything. But I'm sure, as a candidate who appreciates support,
right, you will be recognized. There will be patronage, right?
Not patronage. Will you stop saying all the wrong things?
There will be
recognition,
right? All right. I believe the man is sincere. Don't rain on my parade. All right, I got to take a break, and we'll be back right after these words.
Let's return to the Howard Stern Show.
All right, good. Hey, tonight tonight on the E! Show, 30 solid minutes of goofing on Scott the Engineer. You'll love this one.
Do the lung test and all that?
This is where Scott reveals his head. It's fantastic, and this is after he started going without his hair, and 30 minutes of us goofing endlessly on Scott the Engineer.
That's entertaining.
Oh yeah, you never get tired of it. It's fun to watch Scott's face as we goof on him.
We're going to be talking to George Pataki at about 7:40.
7:40, good.
I want to give him a little more time to sleep.
Good. I'll give the candidate some time to rest.
Do you have his new campaign song ready?
Yeah, I'm going to play it for him. I don't know if you heard it. Where is that thing?
That'll wake him up.
Yeah.
I had the hook. They were requeuing the other one.
Hey, John ran into Shannon Doherty from Beverly Hills 90210 yesterday.
Oh, yeah? Why doesn't she do this show when she's promoting?
Well, I'll answer that in a second, but we'll play George Pataki's song for him, which is... Pataki for governor. Pataki I was singing this yesterday.
For governor of New York. One more time.
Okay.
Pataki for governor. Pataki for governor. For governor of New York.
York.
Pataki for governor. Pataki for governor. For governor of New York.
By the way, For those of you who tuned in yesterday and heard the exciting news that the zookeeper is coming in on this show, I will be talking about that in the next hour. So don't think I've forgotten about it. We have to make plans. Stuttering John, what is it?
No, that was it. I thought we were going to talk about that now.
No, I see. About what?
About the zookeeper, but I'll have.
Yeah, we'll talk about the zookeeper in a minute. Let me just take care of Shannon Doherty. I'm anxious to hear what she has to say.
I just want to stay in for this because, I've been dealing with a publicist.
Is that right?
And we never had her on the show. And I've called like a half a dozen times.
Yeah.
And they just said she's too busy. She's always too busy.
Yeah, she's busy doing nothing. I know her. I went to dinner with her one night.
I know. But I'm sitting there watching her on TV, and I say, he's had dinner with her. Why has she never done the show?
She claims that the publicist never told her that we wanted her.
Right. Well, that's a good excuse.
Yeah, these publicists are all full of crap. I'm going to fire my publicist just because of these other publicists.
Oh, you're going to blame her?
Yeah. But... Oh, whoops.
You really like that stuff.
Yeah. All right, here's Stuttering John. Where did you run into her?
At NBC. She did Live at 5.
Oh, so she looks cute, huh?
She looks really cute.
Yeah.
She's like tiny. I didn't know that she was like. I thought she was like taller than me, but she's really short.
Well, now she's doing these talk shows. She's trying to convince everyone that she's sane. And
a real actress.
Right.
Howard, she patiently signed about 50 autographs.
Well, she's got to do that. She has such a bad reputation. She's got to. And not only that, she's nervous because she sees. She left Beverly Hills 90210, and what is she doing? Margaret Mitchell story. Big
when
deal.
She had a regular paycheck, it seems she had trouble paying bills.
Right.
Doesn't she remind you, like, of Sean Young? She's trying to convince everybody she's normal, but you can see that loony person there waiting to get out.
There's a loony person locked in there.
Those eyes tell the story.
I had dinner with her. The girl couldn't say 2 words. I don't know what was going on.
People are in awe.
Have you ever seen that? Like,
thank you, Robin. I don't know why. Jessica Hahn had no problem talking.
Did you ever see that soft porn movie she did?
Yeah, I seen that. She's got a great body. Great body.
Is that pre or post breast implant?
Post
breast implant.
Is that the one she did with
Judd Nelson? I've seen that twice.
A big fan.
Big fan of that movie. Just the naked parts I've seen. Yeah, I've watched that. Very nice-looking girl. No question about it. That's one hot broad.
Then why did they make her look so bad in that Margaret Mitchell story?
Because whenever a girl... Let me explain something to you, Robin.
Right.
Whenever a girl tries to become...
Take me under your wing.
Yeah, whenever a girl tries to become a serious actress, they ugly themselves up for the camera. And that immediately ends their career.
Because she didn't look like herself in that. I saw the first part of that miniseries, or whatever it was, the little movie.
Well, she was playing somebody ugly, so...
I don't know what Margaret Mitchell looked like.
I don't even care about Margaret Mitchell. So, she should have come on this show.
Yeah, she was here all day yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
For that, for the movie.
Yeah.
Well, she promises me that she's going to call in.
Well, who cares? I don't want to call her. I want to get her in the chair. Call. What am I, dirt? What am I, Bernadette Castro?
When she called Live at 5.
Yeah, let her call Live at 5 and then come on this show, please. All right, here's Shannon Doherty.
Shannon, can I ask you a question with WXRK Radio?
Sure.
How come you didn't do the Howard Stern show today?
How come I didn't do Howard Stern? Howard Stern didn't ask me.
I thought you were booked on the show, but then you got canceled.
No, not to my knowledge.
Are you a fan?
Am I a fan of Howard's? Howard and I have a history. He knows what it's all about.
Damn right I do. I was playing footsie under the table.
No, I was never mad at Howard. Are you joking?
Why don't you come on tomorrow?
Because I'm going back out of town tomorrow. I go back to L.A. tomorrow.
What do you think, O.J. Innocent or guilty?
I don't think I'm allowed to comment on stuff like that. I'm not in the jury, so it doesn't matter.
How come she's not allowed to comment?
I don't know. Maybe she's in office or on the jury. I'm not sure.
Her answer
She's a celebrity.
She does answer the next question, which finally somebody answers it the way you'd like.
Or what I think.
Would you let your kids be babysitted by Michael Jackson?
No. That's a clear-cut answer. No.
All right.
So it isn't that you're mad at Howard or anything?
Absolutely not. I love Howard.
Oh, really?
I love Howard.
Oh.
I think Howard's the best.
Did you call in this week or something?
Thank you.
Absolutely.
All right. How can I get in touch with you?
I'll give you the home number, man.
No. I mean, seriously, nice.
No, but they should... You guys would know who to call, wouldn't you?
Yeah, but I think we did, and that's how this didn't happen.
No, that's impossible. Because I would think that they would have to tell me about it, wouldn't they?
Yeah, sure. Did anybody ask you about it?
No.
And that's the problem.
And that is the problem.
How many times did you call her publicist?
Well, this time only once, but I mean, I've called...
What is the name of her publicist?
Oh gosh,
what is the name? Let me broadcast that name. I want to broadcast that name.
We should call them later in the day, get them on the phone, and play them.
Yeah, this tape.
Shannon saying she would love to do the show, but we haven't asked.
Publicist. They're protecting her. She's got to get word out on a special. Who else is going to watch that thing? Unless I carry on about it. You'll watch. I'll do nothing in the ratings.
Publicist. I didn't hear it.
Probably.
All right, Shannon. Thanks a lot. All right. I'll see you. Big fan. Thanks.
You're a big fan? I didn't know that.
No, he lies.
I don't watch Beverly Hills 90210.
No, but I was.
I do.
I saw it, and I saw that porn movie. I was.
What's the name?
I don't have the name handy because, I looked at my card, but she's been through a few.
Call my girlfriend. She knows it.
Oh, shut up, John. Stupid.
I get the name for you.
All right.
We'll come back with that.
Yeah. Publicist is a Latin word that means incredibly full of S. S, the S word that I can't say. Incredibly full of BS. Yeah, that's a good-looking honey. Let me tell you. That one I could give a good ride to. Let me just give her some of my
Who could you give a
love.
bad ride to?
Ugly chick.
You'd be surprised. I've given a lot of bad rides. There's been a couple of bumpy roads.
You never look at a beautiful woman. I don't think I'd give her a good ride.
No. Her I could really get into, like take my time and really do some
Which
things
is a little thing, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You were Mr. Zamuda.
I'll be quiet.
It's a rimba.
Well, get out of here, John. You're the worst on the air I've ever seen. Hey, you're a retard. I'm going to talk to you off the air.
Now what I do?
And Vic is now going to go out on 5 interviews because of how you screw up.
What did he do?
He gets a crew cut, right?
Uh-huh.
We've told the guy 20 times, if you go and get a crew cut, make sure Ganji goes with you to videotape it so we can use it on the E show.
And he didn't do that?
So he doesn't do it. And how many times did everyone tell you to take a camera with you when you get your haircut?
I would rather just came here and surprised you.
What?
I would rather just came here and surprised you.
Who asked you to do that?
It still would have been a surprise to Howard.
How would I have seen it?
But you know what, Howard?
Why was it in the paper on Sunday? Why was it in the paper?
Howard, I really wasn't sure that
Excuse me, why was it in the paper on Saturday?
Because I said I was thinking about doing it. I wasn't really sure I was going to do it.
No, it said in Linda Stassi's column you were going to cut your hair.
Yeah.
So why would Linda Stassi, why would you tell her and not tell me? Did you speak to her?
No, but okay.
How did she find out about it?
I spoke to AJ Benza.
Oh, AJ Benza,
you might as well speak to Linda then.
Why would you call him to tell him?
No, I spoke to him about Tony Tina's wedding, and then he said, and then we started rapping, and I said, I think I'm going to shave my head. Okay?
Are you thinking I'm going to shave my head?
I've been talking about shaving my head for 3 months now.
So then it's in the paper, and then what? Do I have a TV show?
And I'm doing it.
Did the producer of the TV show... You don't understand the difference between seeing you with a crew cut and watching you get it cut?
Howard, can I just say one thing?
I don't care.
No. See,
John, you're useless.
All right, Howard, let me just say, I wasn't sure I was going to do it. I thought I was going to get cold feet and then wuss out.
Yeah.
So I'm going to bring a whole camera crew and go...
Let me ask you something.
If they would have came, I would have been pressured into doing it. I would have had to do it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
Ganji doesn't pressure you at all.
If I would have called him from Long Island, told him to come all the way in, and then I go, you know what, I ain't going to do it.
So, then fine.
You were still going to get some kind of a haircut. It would have been nice to see you having that anxiety.
It was a traumatic experience.
You're useless. Good job again.
I did. Howard, half of the reason why I cut my hair.
Robin from the E channel, not Robin here, but Robin from the E channel, and Scott too. How many times did they say to you, if you go to get your hair cut, do it on camera?
Howard, to me, it's like, would you have? I mean, I really wasn't sure I was going to do it. And let me just say one thing. Half the reason why I cut this is for my interviews. I swear to God.
It's for what?
It's for my interviews. So I can wear different wigs and stuff. I promise you. That's half the reason. I did it.
So then why wouldn't you get it?
I did it for the show.
So why wouldn't you get it on camera?
Because so you can see someone cut my hair?
Yeah, it's interesting. If someone tells you take a camera, or bring a friend with you with a video camera, if you're feeling pressured. Why don't you just say it? Why don't you just say, I don't give a F about Howard's show?
Howard.
All right, thank you. You're done. You're done. You're done. Get out. Out.
Who else would do this like this?
Don't know. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for doing a good job.
I did do a good job. I did. Now, you know what? Now, no
Thank you. Thank you.
Be able to do interviews without any problem.
Stupid. Dummy. All right, I didn't mean to take up time with that. There's enough to get to today. We have tons of things to get to. Am I right?
Absolutely.
Tony and Tina's wedding. How he got a part in Tony and Tina's wedding, I don't know. I think that's because he could announce it on the radio.
Yeah.
That play must be in big trouble. That play must be... They must sell 2 tickets a night if they're getting him. The world's worst stutterer. to be in a play. Imagine people going to sit there, pay money.
Aren't you going to go see it, though?
I guess
see
so.
if you can get through it.
But it makes a mockery of the play and all the actors
who
work
take
hard.
years and years to study, yes.
The writers must be thrilled.
Yeah. They got a play here in New York. It's called Tony and Tina's Wedding. Now, I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, it recreates an Italian wedding. So much so that the audience
is a part of the wedding party.
Yeah. In other words, you sit there in the audience and you... Oh, look who's back. Hey, what is it?
First of all, the play's been sold out for months.
Yeah, sure.
It is. It's
That's
sold
why
out.
they need you.
No, it is sold out. I promise you, even before they had me.
Hey, let me tell you something. They must be pretty hard up if they got you.
Why?
Why?
Yeah, I don't understand.
Because you
There
stutter.
are no other actors available?
So what? I stutter. What's the matter with that?
Let me hear you act. Go ahead. Do a scene.
No. You do
Let me hear
scene.
you scene.
You do a scene.
I don't have it. I'm not in it.
No, I'll give you this. You just got to toast somebody.
I should do a scene in Tony and Tina's wedding?
Because you think it's easy to sit here in front of you and Miss Critic over there and
I don't even care. I'm not talking to you.
Yeah, because you're not being rational.
I'm being irrational?
No, I'm supposed to... I don't think there'd be an actor in the world that would sit here and do a scene.
Sure they would.
And do it good?
Of course.
All right.
A monologue. What do you think a Shakespearean monologue is?
Let me just see you do one.
I don't have a play.
Just do one from your movie.
I don't have a movie. What are you talking about? I don't even have a line yet. I don't have a script yet. How dare you? Every day I act.
Rehearsing this already.
Every day I read commercials. I do all kinds of things.
It took me years to even play my guitar here in this.
Oh, who cares about you? All I ask you to do is cut your hair in front of the camera.
You won't act.
Dante's Inferno in here.
He cut his hair for the play. That's what he did. And he says it was for the show.
Of course.
No.
Yeah,
The play wanted me to keep it long.
All right.
The play asked me to keep it long. I'm
you.
supposed to be a drug addict. The play wanted me to keep it long. It was even a problem when I asked them if I should cut my hair. They're like, no, please don't.
All right. Thank you.
So
who cares? Get out of here. Who
So
cares
did they fire you?
about your stupid show?
How does this happen?
What happened?
What do I do to you that annoys you?
You don't do anything to me.
But
That's the problem.
No, but
I asked you for 2 weeks.
Why is there hostility?
I had 12 people come up to you and say, if you're going to cut your hair, let's get it on camera. I don't know. There might have been something there. That's all. Think. That's what I ask you to do.
Why, after all those solicitations, would he just go off and do it without...
Because he is cuckoo.
I see.
Hey, maybe I am cuckoo.
Okay, man.
It was, if you were cutting your hair, wouldn't you be a little... I don't know if I'm going to do it. I don't know if I'm not going to do it.
I bet you'd have a camera there.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see a camera with your freaking weaves being put on. And
Nobody cared.
Yeah,
but
who cared?
Had a camera there.
I asked you to have a camera. I didn't ask her to have a camera. I asked you.
But why is it different?
Why are you throwing it to Robin?
Because why is there a double? I mean,
Because I asked you. I was curious. I'm trying to build something out of you. You know all you do is stutter?
No, I don't.
That's all you are.
Ah,
So I'm trying to build something out of you. It would have been interesting to watch you get all that hair cut off. Oh, please. I want to go on with my show. Get out of the room.
No, but you started talking
Get out of here. Get out of here. They must be desperate.
No, they're not desperate.
Haircut makes you look like a mental patient.
Well, makes him look like what he is.
Exactly. Now you look like what you are, mental patient. Guy cut off all his hair, and he doesn't bring a camera. We tell him 20 times.
He got a mental patient haircut. I mean, it looks like somebody in a facility cut it because of all the...
It would have been funny to watch. I could have made something out of that.
Now you go to get your haircut, and you pointed a picture on the wall of the haircut you want. Imagine he saw a picture of this and said, yeah, that's for me.
That's my haircut.
That's what I wanted.
All right, good. Goodbye. I'm done with you.
Yeah,
Get out. Get out. Out. Out of my studio, my sacred studio.
Look at him. He doesn't do anything you say.
No,
you see
he's stupid. Well, that's okay. Vic, if you don't get out, Vic is the new guy. Get out. Tina. Tina the Tard. Tina. They got a play here in New York. Tony and Tina's Wedding.
Tardo and Tina.
Yeah, and it's a recreate. I'll tell you why I wouldn't go see it. When I go to a play, I don't want to be... It's just like I went to see Penn and Teller. He starts talking to me in the middle of the play. Starts asking people questions during the middle of the play. I told him, don't you call on me. I'm not going up there. I don't want to participate. I want to be entertained.
You're going out for a night of entertainment.
Yeah, I will not go to any play where I have to participate. The audience becomes part of the play at this Tony and Tina's Wedding. I don't want to do that. That's laziness on the part of the playwright. That he has to rely on me for lines. I wouldn't go see that with an imbecile like that in there. All right, let's take a break. What? All right, let's take a break, and then we'll come back, and then I'm
sitting here thinking about the nervous breakdown he's having out in the hall.
He's out of his mind.
No, I asked the guy 100 times, if you're going to get a haircut, he says, okay. 100 times. How many times can you ask a guy?
Well, that surprises me. That really shocks me that he did that even after being asked.
Hey, you know who's stupider than Stuttering John?
Who?
Jay Leno. This guy is...
Did he call you again?
Oh, I didn't even tell you anything.
What?
No, now you got to hear this.
Oh, boy.
All right, let me take a break and I'll tell you.
Yeah, because that's going to take a little
That's going to take some time.
Daily installment.
Oh, please. Let me tell you the latest, what's going on with him. There's something. I'm telling you that he should be committed to a mental institution.
You really think he needs medication?
I think he's a sick man.
You should get John's cut.
Maybe you should be calling someone for protection.
Yeah, I'm going to call the police. I'm being stalked. I'm telling you that Jay Leno is a psycho.
Can you get a restraining order?
There's something wrong with this guy. He should be ashamed of himself. I'll tell you all about it when I get back. Come on, Fred. What are you sleeping? He's sleeping during the show.
Return to the Howard Stern Show.
Wait a second. Stop for a second. What happened right there? I take a break, and then what do you do?
No, I thought something else was going to happen.
What, Fred?
What could have possibly happened?
I saw something fly over the wall there.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay.
We're back with the Howard Stern Show.
And thank you, Jackie. Congratulations on your Wild Comedy CD and cassette. $10 plus free shipping and handling. Holiday special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Saturday night, it's Jackie, November 12th, for a big show at the world-famous Club Benet in Sayreville, New Jersey. For dirty jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. Thank you. All right.
Just the delivery alone is funny.
I'll tell you the Jay Leno story. Then we also have to talk about what's going to go on in Philadelphia with the zookeeper. Zookeeper trying to return to radio, coming to us to ask for permission. There's a whole big thing, whether we should go to Philly on Friday, whether we should have the zookeeper here. I've got to discuss everything with you.
Okay.
William
Shatner.
I
don't know how it came up that we weren't going to Philly. I thought we had made a decision, but we'll find out.
Well, let's find out. We have made a decision, but we could always change it. William Shatner is...
What time's he coming in?
He's coming in at 8 o'clock.
That'll be interesting to meet him live and in person, don't you think?
Yeah, he wrote a book, but I think he got really pissed off when Sulu was on our show and badmouthed him.
Yes, is that right?
So that's why he's coming here, to defend himself.
I wanted
like
to
a
ask
man.
you a question.
Yeah.
What wig do you think he'll wear today?
Oh, for goodness sake. How dare you, Rob?
Will he wear his T.J. Hooker?
No, he's going to wear a squirrel on his head. Listen.
Or will it be the Star Trek?
Believe me, I guarantee you, if he went hairless, he would look fantastic.
You think so?
I would love to ask him and take the damn thing off and just stand there. I'm telling you, he would look dynamic. He would be like Sean Connery.
It's funny because I was watching previews of the Generations movie.
Yes.
And there's Picard with his bald pate, and he looks very attractive, very distinguished.
Yeah.
And then there's William Shatner, who's supposed to be the older guy who's got younger hair.
William Shatner is coming in because everyone on the Star Trek series is writing books and saying they hate William Shatner.
There's a mutiny. Captain Kirk is under attack from his own crew.
Yeah.
There are always rumors that he and Leonard Nimoy had a problem with each other.
They did. He writes about it in his book.
Is that right?
Well, what happened was, in the beginning, Leonard Nimoy and Captain Kirk even had a thing built into the contracts in the movies that they had to get equal pay.
Ah.
They stuck by each other. Like a favored nations clause.
Yes.
And I don't know, at some point, Shatner started making some money, and things started getting really stupid because Leonard Nimoy would not do Star Trek 2 until he felt the proper storyline was being developed, and it was getting to be a real pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And it was getting to the point where Leonard Nimoy was always calling Shatner over little things in the scripts, and finally Shatner said, you know what, who needs you?
He just wanted to go in there and do the day's work.
Right.
Leonard Nimoy's fighting over words in the script?
I think so. That's what we have to ask him about.
Because I know he directed
a
couple of those.
Exactly. Either everyone on everyone on Star Trek was a pain in the ass.
It sounds like it.
Or William Shatner was a pain in the ass, and we'll get to the bottom of it.
Sounds like a real mess.
I think Uhura should have been locked in a hospital. What do you think of that? But anyway, I'm looking forward to
we'll get another side of the story today. We'll get William Shatner's story.
Quickly, before I even tell you the Jay Leno story, on our phone is, you got to hear this, Elephant Boy.
What's he doing on the phone?
Hey, Howard.
Oh, you sound depressed.
Elephant Boy is out in California. He took a job. Let me explain this to you. He took a job.
What's this all about?
Let me explain it to you. He took a job. You know, Elephant Boy is getting popular from the TV show, from the radio show, and he is asked to do promotional things for money, to get paid.
Right.
He got asked to, this is crazy, go out to California and jump out of a plane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I'm afraid I thought you meant he was moving to California.
No.
This is just one of those little gigs he gets.
Right.
Okay.
So they evidently are paying him like $3,000 to jump out of this plane.
Mm-hmm.
So we got all excited. $3,000 is more than he makes all year from that stupid postal job of his or whatever he does.
It's like
I don't even know what he does.
For him.
And evidently, I don't know what's going on out there. Did you jump yet?
Yes, I did.
You took a practice jump?
Yeah, no, I did just take a picture. I jumped out of a plane at 12,500 feet.
All right, now let me get this straight. Hold on. Did you poop your pants quicker than a marathon runner?
No. I was successful.
Let me ask you this. Did you do the...
Nobody knows what he did.
All right, did you do the promotion yet, or you did a practice jump?
I did the promotion.
Oh, you did it already. It's all done with.
Yeah, it's done with.
Did you get paid?
Yeah, I got paid.
And you got paid the $3,000?
Yes.
Why didn't you call me before you jumped?
I tried to call you yesterday, but I forgot you're on 3 hours early in Los Angeles. So when I called you, you was just off the air.
You forgot that you were in California and there was a 3-hour difference?
Yes.
What's the matter with you?
I am a freaking idiot.
He is an idiot. He really is. I said to him, call me before you jump.
Yeah.
So he called us, but he forgot that it was 3 hours later in Los Angeles.
Yeah, when I saw how it...
So you jumped 12,500 feet?
Yeah, with a big pressure room, and you will see me funding her in the air.
All right, so you jumped out of a plane with a big-breasted woman, and you fondled her midair.
Correct.
And how was that?
Were you strapped together?
Where I did have like a tender master attached to me, and he was controlling my flight down.
What did he say? Now you lost me, pal.
He was attached to somebody.
Right.
Yeah. And he was controlling my descent.
So, in other words, he had an expert falling with him who got him over to the girl, because I didn't see how Elephant Boy plummeting from a plane
so Elephant Boy,
would be able to get over to a girl.
You didn't jump on your own. You held on to some guy.
Oh,
So you fondled a guy. You didn't fondle a woman. All right, very good. All right, very good. All right.
I go to for people who want to see live footage of the jump. I will be appearing at Enzo nightclub in Long Beach, California. Enzo nightclub.
All right, hold on a second.
Yeah.
Hold on a second.
You want to spell that?
Yeah.
I understand you're saying... let me tell you what I think you're saying.
Yeah.
I think you're saying that there is now a video of you jumping.
Yes.
Okay. They videotaped it.
I understood live footage.
Yeah.
No, you did?
You're very correct.
I didn't hear live footage, but I heard videotape.
Yeah.
And you were going to show it in a nightclub.
Yeah.
I know. When will that be?
He's going to be in correspond like a big bus contest.
All right, so there'll be a big breast contest?
Yeah. At Angel nightclub.
Angel nightclub?
Yeah. In Long Beach, California.
That was Angel that was?
Yeah.
I thought it was Enzo.
Isn't it funny how I understand certain things and you don't, and then you understand certain things and I don't?
Amazing.
Yeah.
You didn't say when.
And don't you feel really proud of yourself when you can understand what he says?
Yes, I feel like I've accomplished something.
Yes.
Now, is that tonight?
No, tomorrow night, November 9th.
Tomorrow night. And will you leap off the stage with a parachute?
One of our old friends will be there from your trip to opening. Colt 45 will be there.
Colt 45 will be there. That's a stripper?
Yeah.
Colt 45.
Yes.
All right. Very good, Elephant Boy.
Okay. Well, from now on, Harry, you can call me EP. I got the Harry people. EP now.
Right.
EP for Elephant Boy. You can use my initials.
Well, all I know is I think this jump shook him up.
Yeah, he must have landed on his head.
I think he's still scared.
Well, when we get ready, we're going to ship you the video, and you will crap in your pants after you see it.
All right, very good, Elfin Boy.
Okay.
Looking forward to your return.
Okay, thank you, Howard. Have a good day.
Yes, you too.
Okay, bye.
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 Atapat.
Atabai.
Atapai.
Oh, please. What's the matter with him? He jumped out of a plane.
I would have loved to have been up there just to see what it was like just before he was ready to leap.
Listen, you don't want to know why he does it. He's got nothing to live for anyway. If he died and you got splattered all over the street, you think
what would be the loss?
He'd probably be happier.
12,000 feet?
Wow. I thought I could fly. All right, let me tell you about Jay Leno real quick. So,
all right,
just to recap.
I'm going to forget about Elephant Boy.
Jay Leno is coming to New York in November. And
you know what? This is interesting that Fred should play this.
Why?
Because the Tonight Show has obviously changed.
Yeah.
But none of that music Branford has played
has made an impact. This is still the theme for the Tonight
Show. And he's
Show.
complaining about them.
Right. His lack of ability to make a good theme, and he's complaining. All right. Anyway. I hate this song. It's distracting me.
As bad as it was, it became very recognizable.
Right. Anyway, so what can I say other than originally Jay Leno called me 2 months ago because he was coming to New York in November to do a show. Okay. Fair enough. They called my agent the way they normally do. They said, would Howard do it? And my agent said, hold on, let me think about it. 2 or 3 days later, he called back and said, no, he will not be available in November to do it. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. With that, they kept calling. With that, on top of that.
And he kept saying no.
Right. Letterman calls.
Okay.
Evidently, there's a mole at the Tonight Show who tells Letterman when they're booking somebody because Letterman picks up the phone and calls me himself and asks me to do the same exact date, the same exact day, the same exact year and week.
Do you think it's a mole at Jay Leno?
Yes.
Or is it a mole somewhere else?
No. There is a mole at Jay Leno's booking department.
Because it sounds like there were a lot of calls made before you heard from Letterman.
Not really. I'm probably telling it wrong.
All
right. It was almost like when Jay first started calling me, the Tonight Show rather started calling me. Letterman picked up the phone and said,
all right.
No. First Morty called. It didn't go exactly in this order,
all
but
right.
Morty called my agent and said, hey, how about this date? And then Letterman picked up the phone and called me because he got nervous that I was going to do the Tonight Show.
So
you would think, I mean, I'm the only guest the Tonight Show and David Letterman had, the way they're carrying on.
But boy, oh boy, when one wants you, the other one wants you bad, too.
And let me tell you something. I don't want to be a late-night talk show host. I'll tell you why. If you are that dependent that you have to start picking up the phone and calling the guests yourself, it's a sad day.
Well, at least Letterman made one call.
Right. So anyway, so Letterman called me himself, and he says, will you be on my show? And I said, probably not this time around. The Tonight Show called me for the same exact date, and I told them no. You know, Dave, I've done your show 2 times in a row now, and I'm really sitting this November thing out because I don't really have anything I want to do right now. I don't have anything I really want to say on TV, and I don't want to do it.
And he was perfectly fine with that.
He said, would you think about it? I said, I'll think about it, and if I want to do it, I'll get back to you.
Okay.
I said, and I said also, you know, the problem is, too, that I'm working on a movie, and I'm really involved in it, and it'd be very difficult. And he said to me, I know you don't need to do it. I'm asking you as a favor. I said, well, if I can do it, I'll get back to you. And he's never called me since.
That was the end of it.
That was the end of it. With that, about a week and a half ago, Jay Leno called me at home.
Mm-hmm.
Coming to New York. Once you do the show. I said, Jay, thanks. It sounds great. I don't think I can do it this time around, but, you know. Oh, no, you can't say. Okay. That was a week and a half ago. He called me 2 days in a row after that call. And after I kind of said, look, it's, you know, then I pawned it off of my agent and all that kind of stuff. I said it's up to him because I couldn't get rid of him. He called my agent, and my agent point blank said, I don't want Howard doing it no. That's it. In fact, another agent walked in the room while Don was talking. And the agent, are you talking to Jay Leno like that? He says, this guy don't understand. I said, no.
He won't take no for an answer.
He won't take no for an answer. Okay. With that, Don called me, my agent, and said, don't worry about anything. I straightened out with Jay Leno. He gets it. I said,
and usually when Don straightens somebody out,
it's very clear. Don is, you can say what you want about Don, but Don's very clear.
Yeah.
Very clear. Yes or no. He said no. With that, while I'm talking to Don, Jay calls. I said, Don, it's Jay again. Because don't worry, you can pick up the phone. In fact, I had suggested to him that maybe he come on your show. He's probably trying to book himself on your show at this point. I said, I think you're nuts. I said, I think Jay didn't hear a word you said. Sure enough, I pick up the phone, and Jay goes into a 45-minute rap how I should do the show. And I basically said again, I don't think I can do it. I'll always talk to Don about it, but the both of us agree that it's not the right time for me to go on. I know what it is. You want to go on, but Dave is giving you a lot of pressure. Letterman's all over you, right? I said, no. He goes, I'm not like that at all. You went on Dave 2 times the last time. And I don't care how many times you go on Dave. I understand he's in New York and I'm in California, but I'm coming to New York and I want to do it. And I said, Jay, listen to me. I really don't have anything I want to say this time. Sure you have the stuff you want to say. You're just talking about Branford. You're talking about a lot of different things. Come on. I know all these guys. So if Seinfeld tells me he doesn't have material, I understand. He does stand up, but you got a lot of things. I said, listen. So I don't really think. Okay. So we went through this dance 20 times. Saturday, he called again. My house on Saturday on the weekend.
That's a holy day.
That's a holy day at my house. I never pick up my own phone. I picked it up because I thought it was Dopey Ralph who was supposed to call me. I pick up 40 minutes. Jay works on me, and I said, Jay, I really don't think this time around. He goes, do me a favor. Would you talk it over with Don? And I said, you know what? I'm going to talk it over with Don, but I'm pretty sure the answer is no. He goes, can I take that as a yes? Is there an opening here? Is my foot in the door? I said, Jay, I said, I'm getting embarrassed. I love you. I love doing your show. I enjoy it. This is not a put down. I just can't do it this time around. Well, so I'm saying that you're probably going to do it. This like ignoring what I said. I think this guy's mental.
I think he gets the impression that the longer you stay on the phone, the more likely you are to do it.
I mean, it's obvious. Even if I'm not good at saying no. Even if I'm not good at saying no. And respect the fact that I am saying no.
People don't do that,
right.
Howard.
At this point, the guy is being obnoxious. He's badgering, as you just said.
But don't you remember back to the days when you were trying to get a girl to sleep with you?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you go past obnoxious if you thought you could get the prize?
Robin, this is going way past what I would have done. I never. This is sexual harassment. I never would do that. This is rape. I think that the smell of all that motor oil is making him lightheaded. This guy's a nut. I mean, he is a certifiable nut. So listen to this.
So you left it
Saturday,
with him calling you again.
I said to him on Saturday, look, man, I'll talk to Don over the weekend, which I didn't even bother. I mean, I know what Don's answer is. I'll talk to Don over the weekend. He says, I got to have my answer by Monday. Monday night is our booking deadline.
All right. I
said, okay. I said, I will talk to you on Monday, but, I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be no. Please forgive me. Well, no. It sounds like you want to do it really bad, but Don doesn't want you. You talk to Don. It's got to work out. Now, you say. So, wait a second. Listen to this. You got to hear this. So, the phone rings yesterday. I walk in the door, just as I'm walking in the door.
He knows your schedule.
I instructed, I think there's a mole in my house. I instructed Laura, my assistant, that under any circumstances, if Jay calls, you tell him I'm not home. Jay calls. Laura says he's not home. Where is he? This is what she says to him. She goes, well, he's in a meeting. Where is this meeting? She says, I don't know exactly where. He's supposed to call me. When he calls you, would you get the number so I can call him at the meeting? So, Laura, this guy's nuts.
He thinks that he should be able to interrupt any meeting. Who is he, Bill Clinton?
Yeah, I don't know. What is so important? I don't want to do the damn show. So, Laura says, look, I'll call back in an hour. If you speak to Howard, I tell him I have to speak to him. Laura comes running into me. She says, what am I supposed to say? I said, do me a favor. next time Jay calls, tell him that I called you and said, if Jay calls, tell him, no, I can't do the show.
Because you can't do it yourself.
Laura gets the call from Jay. Sure enough, like a half hour later, this guy's insane. I'm telling you, this guy's insane. He says, well, where's Howard? She goes, well, I can't get in touch with him. He's in his car. Does he have a car phone? She goes, yes. What's the number? She goes, well, I'm not authorized to give out the number. Oh, come on, give it to me. So he says, is there a message? Or, I got to talk to him. So he said he was going to talk to me. So Laura says to him, listen, Jay, Howard told me to tell you that he can't do the show. No, this is unacceptable, he says to her. This is unacceptable. Howard said he would speak to me himself, and I'm not accepting that answer unless I hear from Howard himself. You tell him to call me. Here's my number. I'm not calling him. So Laura comes running, and she's all shook up because it's Jay Leno, somebody she sees on TV. You shook up when someone starts yelling.
Well, yeah, you can't say no to him.
But she comes in, and she says, he is desperate. I said, I know. It's pathetic. I said, the next time he calls, just say, you big chin bastard, you're a psycho. With that, he calls again.
Yeah.
And she says, I'm not home. And he flips his lid. You tell Howard he has to tell me to my face no. And I've already told him 100 times.
No, you said, I don't think so.
No, I've said no on some occasions. I've said I don't think so.
Don doesn't want me to.
Yeah, I mean, how many times can I listen, at some point, like Letterman, he got it the word once. He understood.
Why don't you...
What?
Why don't you get the E-camera to come in here, and why don't you, videotape? Listen, Jay, it's very uncomfortable talking to you on the phone. This is me saying I can't do it.
Right.
And just send him the tape.
Right. I'll do that. But I'm on the radio saying no.
Sit there and say, Jay, no.
Tell him, you call his office, and say that I will speak to him on the air so that the world can hear me say no. I want a witness. You're my witness. Who's on the phone?
George Pataki.
Oh, great.
No. He's practicing.
But where is George? Hey, George, I tell this guy Leno no, and he don't understand it.
Well, I understand it, Howard.
Hey, let me tell you something real quick. I just want to do one quick wrap. Today is Election Day. I saw you on TV last night. I watched you on Channel 2.
Right.
And the whole time my blood is boiling. I'm sitting there going, you got to hear this. I'm sitting there saying, where is the great orator? They're having a debate there, but of course Cuomo doesn't show up. He's a big wise guy.
Talk to the voters.
When Cuomo first started running, he didn't worry about the third-party candidates being on. He got right on TV, the great orator. I'll tell you why this guy didn't appear with you. He didn't appear with you because you made so much friggin' sense last night that the guy would have been blown off the stage.
Well, thank you, Howard.
You were fantastic, and my wife is voting for you. I'm voting for you. There isn't a person on this show that isn't voting for you. And if I wake up tomorrow morning and Mario Cuomo is still the governor, I'm leaving New York State.
Where are you going, George? We're going with you.
I can't take it.
I'll follow you, Robin.
I cannot take it anymore. I said there was not one bad thing you said.
Well, thank you. Yeah, it was terrible. I had all four of them beating up on me.
You had Jerry Nachman.
Mario ducked and was hiding over across the street somewhere.
Jerry Nachman.
They did Mario's job.
Yeah, they pretended to be Mario.
That's right.
And I'm going to Jerry Nachman is so heavy at this point. He looks like 7 Marios. It's unbelievable. I thought he was eating under the table while he's interviewing.
He was.
Put himself on the show.
I got to tell you something. I cannot think of a reason to vote for Mario Cuomo. If anybody is afraid to vote for you because they feel they don't know you, I'll tell you my rap.
They don't really know Cuomo either.
I went around, I went around campaigning for you yesterday. Whoever I met, they would say to me, Howard, who should I vote for? I said, here's why I'm voting for Pataki. Swear to God, I'm walking into the booth today and I'm voting for Pataki. I'll tell you why. Number one, 30 cents more a gallon for gasoline in New Jersey than in New York. Tell me why that is.
In New York than in New Jersey, yeah.
Yeah, right. How the hell could it be 30 cents more a gallon? Geographically, we're in the same exact place.
Does it cost 30 cents more to get the gas here?
No, it's taxes. We have the highest taxes in America.
I said, so George Pataki's on last night, and he says, listen, I'm passionate about this. I've got some new energy. You got a guy there for 12 years who hasn't done a thing. I have said time and time again that if my kids grow up and have to make a living in Atlanta because all business is leaving New York, that's going to be a real killer to me. So I am saying, I am making a vow that I will cut taxes. I'm going to do it a little differently than Christy Todd Whitman, and I'm going to do it. And that's going to be it. And it's going to happen. If I wake up tomorrow and Cuomo is the governor, you think anyone's going to cut any taxes?
No.
That's it. It's going to be
You'd probably be paying 40 cents more.
And I'll tell you, I got another theory. You know why Giuliani didn't support you?
Why is that?
He knows that if you successfully win this governor's race and you become as popular as Christy Todd Whitman, who is now in New Jersey, he will not get to be governor in 4 years.
I think that's right.
That is the bottom line, because what you're proposing is exactly what he's proposing.
Yep.
And you're taking the thunder out of it. And I tell you something, I don't have 4 years to wait. And there's nothing wrong with having a good mayor like Giuliani and a good governor like Pataki.
Well, I agree with you.
I'm into it.
All right,
ready.
Howard.
I'm ready to do it for you.
Howard, I'll tell you, when you endorsed me, that's when we started shooting up in the polls.
You're damn right.
You noticed.
You're the only one who noticed.
You know, Robin, last week, 2 weeks ago, when we were plummeting, Howard went and endorsed me.
Yeah.
But he endorsed me in Pig Latin.
Yeah.
It didn't help a bit.
Yeah, I know.
Howard, it didn't help a bit. We kept sinking.
I know.
They didn't understand you.
I tell you, it's unbelievable. But you did a beautiful job last night. I said, here's a guy. He gets on. He says, and listen, and he got a couple of things that stick in my craw. When Cuomo went out with this guy in Oklahoma and made sure. I said this morning, there's a million guys out there who Cuomo could put his... Listen, a governor doesn't always have time to put his arm around someone individually and look into a case. Maybe help a guy who was innocent and was found guilty. There's some question in the case. Maybe there's a homeless person. There's a sad story. He could help him, get him a job or something. He decides the one thing he's going to embrace is saving this murderer's life.
That's right.
I said, of all the things to sit and focus on, saving a murderer's life.
Yeah, it's absolutely absurd. It's going to cost us over $700,000 for this guy Grasso.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go back there and face the death penalty anyway.
I know.
It doesn't make any sense. But a lot of what he's done over the past 12 years doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
No.
And I think that's why we're doing so well. And that plus your endorsement is why we're skyrocketing in the polls.
You're damn right. And I'm going to tell you something. I really believe you're going to win, and I pray to God you win. Because
have you voted yet?
Have you voted?
Not yet. We're going to vote around 9:30.
What's Libby going to wear?
Something conservative, Howard. I hate to disappoint you.
All right. Well, no, that's a smart move.
Yeah.
Once she gets in, she can dress a little more provocatively.
That's right.
And who are you going to vote for?
I think I'm going to vote for me. I thought about it.
There you go.
I'm going to watch a videotape of the debate last night and see who won.
Yeah. Well, I tell you, you won. In fact, you won over everyone in my house. Everyone said, yeah, we got to give this guy a chance. And the thing, I said, people say to me, well, I'm afraid. I said, what are you afraid of?
Afraid of what?
Here is a guy who is so educated. I said, here is a guy who really, in terms of brain power,
guy, right?
You're a bright guy.
Well, thank you, Robin.
Guy got in on a scholarship to Columbia and to Yale. Jesus Christ. I said, listen, and Mario Cuomo really will do a great job when he gets out of office. He'll walk around, he'll make
the
speeches.
The Democratic Party will give him a job.
Yeah, he'll make speeches and lots of speeches. And I'm so sick of those speeches because he should have made a speech last night and face-to-face with you where he could have addressed his record.
Well, you're right. It would have been great if he had the guts to stand there next to me, but he wouldn't do it. And
well, I said to Howard this morning, if he had a record he could defend, wouldn't he have been out there?
Yep. You know what's amazing to me?
Great for 12 years?
Yep. What's amazing to me is it's election day. He's spent over $10 million. I don't think anybody out there can point to one thing he's talked about in his record.
He can't.
He hasn't talked about jobs. He hasn't talked about taxes. He hasn't talked about crime. And Howard, you're right. He can't. He hasn't done anything to make this a better state over 12 years.
What's the name of the company that you were talking about that went to Connecticut?
Swiss Bank. 2,000 jobs.
2,000 jobs. Boom, right out the door.
Yep.
I mean, that's absurd. Why to Connecticut? Why should that happen?
Well, we keep losing jobs to New Jersey and Connecticut all the time.
What did you say in the non-debate last night? You said that we were where do we rank as a state in terms of taxation?
Oh, we are the highest taxed people in America, period.
That's it.
Nobody comes close.
Yep.
We have the highest taxes, we have the highest fees, and that's why we've had the biggest number of job losses since 1989.
So
and, Saturday...
So Pataki says, wait a second, so he gets on and he says, so if I cut taxes, all right, which I will do, if I cut taxes, and I take this guy Grasso and throw him out of New York State, that's enough for me. If that's all you could do, I would vote for you.
Well,
what do you think of that?
We can certainly do that, and I think we can do a lot more, too.
And you want too many ethnic parades. They should do away with all the parades, but I don't want to get into it. That costs too much money.
I like ethnic parades.
Here, I got a song. Did you hear your campaign?
I heard you had a campaign song. I haven't heard it yet, though.
Yeah, listen to this.
Okay.
That nut job, what's his name, wrote this for you.
Who's that?
David Peel.
David Peel. He used to hang around with John Lennon. But it's good. It's real good. Listen to this.
Pataki for governor, Pataki for governor, for governor of New York. Pataki for governor, Pataki for governor, for governor of New York.
But that beautiful?
That's tremendous.
You love that, right?
We got to get a tape so we can play it tonight at the victory party.
Never mind that. Once you become governor, I want you to lock up David Peel.
Maybe we'll put him in with Thomas Grasso.
Yeah, put him in with Grasso. Let him fight it out.
Separate him from making talk.
Well, listen, I wish you a lot of luck. I hope I wake up tomorrow and there is a miracle that we have a new governor, and I think you'd be fantastic, and I have no problem voting for you. I can't even think of one. They try to even nail you with abortion. You said, look, I'm pro-choice.
Yeah.
I was the Republican who put into the platform that we should be pro-choice.
Exactly.
I mean, what? They can't even nail you on one thing.
I know. Well, they tried hard. And, Howard, you've been great. Robin, I really thank all of you for your help. That's what turned it around in the polls. And
I think you'll be
promised, Howard, January 1st, you're going to be up there on the stage.
Thank you. And I pray that you become the governor.
Well, I think we're going to win. We've just got tremendous momentum, and everybody's got to get out and vote.
That's right.
the critical
That's the
thing.
critical thing.
Get out
there and vote.
Get out there and kick some ass, George.
All right. Thank you, Howard.
All right, take care.
Bye-bye.
Take care.
And
Bye, Robin.
my love to Libby.
Thank you. I will.
I'm fired up over this governor thing. I'm out of my mind over it.
Well, this is a tough fight.
I'm out of my mind over it.
Tough fight.
I shouldn't be. It should be a runaway. He should win by 50 points. It should. He should have.
Be a contest.
Cuomo should have 3 votes. The guy is begging you to let him go. He's completely burnt out on the job. There's not one thing you can tell me.
If you in 12 years can't say one thing that you've done for the state, that should nullify any other candidate.
If Jackie the Joke Man is going out to vote, then I got to say there's something to this.
There you go.
Hey, who said Gary said he'd vote for Cuomo?
That note was just handed to me.
Is that true?
Gary isn't even a citizen anymore.
I got to ask him something. Gary, explain to me how you would vote for Cuomo. Explain it to me. He's the only one on the show who would do that. You're voting for Pataki. Right. Fred's voting for Pataki. I'm voting for him.
Gary didn't really say that.
Fred swears he heard that. Is that true? You would vote for Cuomo? Is it the Italian thing?
I said I'm not. I said I was undecided. I'm just, you know what? I'm a hardcore liberal Democrat. I'm a bleeding
what do you
liberal.
think? What do you think Cuomo is doing that's so good?
I'm not sure. That's why I would be very undecided.
Yeah, you see, seriously, I'm not putting you down.
No. You're.
There are a lot of people who think they're afraid to have change. They're all dissatisfied. This guy just moved to Connecticut.
I know. Why did you do that?
Low income tax.
That's right. You
it's true.
wacko, and then you leave us here with it.
But you know what?
Leave me with Cuomo.
You bring up a really good point that would make me want to vote for Pataki. Sometimes there are issues that are bigger, and like Pataki is, people talk about abortion and stuff. The governor of the state doesn't have anything to do with it.
Exactly.
It's a federal issue.
Well, never mind.
You want to talk about what a governor does for you?
Exactly. And the thing with Pataki is he even said, he says he's for term limits. I'll tell you why. He says you get a guy in there for 12 years, and the guy sits there and he gets completely out of touch. And that's what's happening.
That's something I really, really agree about.
People can't take it. And he's worried about welfare and this Cuomo. This state is welfare. It is welfare state.
It's welfare nirvana.
Yeah, it's welfare nirvana. You get here on welfare, you'll never get off the payrolls. It's a freebie. It's like Gary's job here.
It is the most ridiculous.
I'm on welfare.
Yeah, it's like welfare.
I'm on welfare.
I can't get rid of him.
He's workfare.
Let me take a break. We got so much to get to today.
I probably would end up voting for Pataki.
Of course.
You know what? I'm glad you can't vote.
Yeah.
No, I probably would end up voting
for him. You're confused, and we get into that.
It's just it's a whole Democrat thing.
Get over it. Go for the man.
The only Republican I ever voted for my whole life was D'Amato and Giuliani.
There you go.
But the point is, just because you belong to a party doesn't mean you have to vote the party line.
Right. Anybody want to see me fart into the microphone?
No.
Okay.
Here, watch this.
It wasn't like you weren't going to do it.
There, I did it. This is getting too serious in here with politics. Look at Robin's face.
And they're near your butt. They put it right back in your face.
I know. If I did that, I'd be killed.
Oh, I love it. I love the smell of myself.
Who doesn't?
All right, let me take a break, and we'll be back right after these words. So, William Shatner's not here yet. My schedule's a little off because William Shatner is walking alongside his limo instead of driving here.
Why is that?
I don't know. We called his limo driver, and the limo driver said, well, Bill likes to get out and walk sometimes. He'll just jump out of the limo and walk. And
does it matter what his schedule is?
No.
And that he's late?
Doesn't matter. So the limo guy just follows him in the street.
Let me make a note of that. This is something you ought to do.
Where is my car?
Oh, my.
Anyway, I wanted
Maybe it's better. You might have the radio on.
Yeah, right. I remembered that William Shatner was a dentist. I think. And then he got into acting.
Really?
I don't know why I think
I don't know much about his previous history.
Yeah. He's been married like 3 times. He's had Marcy Shatner was a piece of ass. I don't know why.
He likes to go through the wives.
Yeah.
Bill Shatner's here and ready to roll.
Is he?
He wants to come right on.
Does he?
Oh, my.
Oh, we want him.
We want him right in here. Bill has written a book. I call him
Called?
Bill. Star Trek Movie Memories. William Shatner. With Chris Kresge.
I don't remember Chris Kresge from the show.
Me neither. Well, no one from the show is willing to work with William. You think I got to call him Mr. Shatner or
No, Bill.
Well, he's a little bit older than I am.
He likes to pretend that he's still, you know.
I should call him Captain.
Captain. Aye, Captain.
Captain? There he is.
Live
Look
long
at you.
and prosper.
How you doing?
Oh.
It's cool out there.
It's cool. What'd you do? You walked?
No, I told the guy, the limo driver, was a very aggressive guy.
Yeah.
Very aggressive guy.
Yes.
He said, get in the limo.
Yeah.
I said, what do you mean get in the limo?
So right away you start arguing with the limo
Where's
driver?
this girl, this Robin girl that I've heard so much about? Look at her.
Hello.
She's a pretty girl.
Why, thank you.
Why do you keep her way out there?
Well, listen, I pass a lot of wind in here. You understand.
But all the guests try to
But
get me.
it's silent.
Let me say something. So far, I like you. And everyone doesn't like you. I have never seen a guy, whoever you work with, doesn't like you. It's unbelievable.
But that's not so.
Yeah, really?
You've been talking to the wrong people.
I've been talking.
Let me tell you how I feel.
Okay, go ahead. Go right off the bat. You come out on the attack.
I'm going to come on.
Good.
That's exactly right.
Good.
It's not really an attack. I want to give you an impression.
Go ahead.
Okay. Some years ago, I was doing some work for the endangered species people. They said, if you went to see Coco the gorilla,
right?
The gorilla that talks in sign language, you know the
yes, Coco.
Coco. This would be a big publicity thing, and why don't you go in and? So I went up.
In other words, it'd be good for the animals if you would visit
They take some
Coco.
pictures and they say, "Here's Shatner,
publicity.
Coco publicity for the endangered species." So I said, "Okay, great." So we flew up to San Francisco, and while I'm going up there, I'm thinking, "My God, I'm going into a room with a live gorilla."
Right. It's not funny.
Okay, so now no, it's not funny.
Right.
So now the door opens, and there is Coco in the room. I'm looking at Coco. Coco's looking at me. So I work with animals quite a bit. I have horses, dogs. The best thing you can do when you come into a room with a live animal whom you're a little apprehensive about
is look him
in the eye.
Right.
And say, I love you.
Really?
Yeah. So the whole attitude is, I love you. So I went to Coco. I got closer and closer to Coco. I said, I love you, Coco.
You scared me.
No.
Go ahead. Yeah, right.
So I got right up to Coco, and I said, Coco, I love you. She put her hand right between my legs and grabbed me.
Really?
Honest to God.
Really?
Well, that's the way
and held me.
So what is the moral of the story?
The moral is be very careful when you enter the cage of somebody you're afraid of.
I don't get it, Robert.
You don't get it? Well, here I am in your show.
Are you afraid of me?
Well, you have not been kind.
Oh, well,
you have not been kind.
Well, why
I love you, Howard. I love you. Howard, get your hand up.
No, what have I said? What have I said?
We do love you.
No,
what do you say?
he doesn't love me. I have to make him love me.
Talk about Star Trek.
My impulse this morning is to make Howard love me.
No, you don't have to make me love you. That's you're a man who has had a career that you don't have to sit there and worry about me. Now,
you know what?
I heard that you came in because you heard Sulu on our show bad-mouthing you, and you wanted to say something about Sulu. Sulu doesn't like you.
I don't know why.
He hates you.
Even Uhura has a problem with you.
Now, let me tell you.
Uhura, on top of that, hates you.
I think who?
Uhura.
No.
Hates you.
They're crazy. They love me.
But they've made statements. They hate
Howard.
you. What are you talking about?
I'm telling you, they're selling books.
Is that what it is?
But why would they do that against you? Something is there.
That is, I can't understand it. Let me describe.
Want to hear what Sulu said? Let me play it for you. Let me play for you what Sulu said. Let me play for you. You got to hear how on fire this guy. Listen to it.
This guy is on fire.
He's on fire.
He's never been on fire before.
This is a guy, I don't see him in anything, and he's on fire only by... He's never said a bad word about him. He claims you cut him out of the park. You want to hear him or not? Do you want to hear it or not?
You might as well, since you're going to play it anyway.
All right, listen to this. I wouldn't play it anyway if you didn't want to hear it, but listen to this. Now, let me see. I was just listening. I said, what is with Sulu?
Well, thank you.
Who, Robin is pretty?
No, you are.
Oh, thank you.
You know, see, Uhura fell for these lines.
Do you want to sleep with Robin? Hey, we got a lot to talk about.
Is that right?
Yeah, we have a lot to talk about. But wait, get the Sulu thing out of the way.
Forget the Sulu
No, do it. Do it. Get it out of your system.
Say what you want to say about your relationship
Listen to Sulu.
with George
Listen to
Takei.
Sulu. Here he is. With that deep voice.
He's got this charm that he thinks is going to cover up all the other things that he does to people.
Oh, so he's nice to you while he's cutting your throat.
He's got that smile and that wit, and, you know, at first, you know, everybody gets taken in by that. But over the years, you see through the man. And frankly, I see him as a rather sad kind of guy, you know, who never really outgrew that beginning actor's syndrome of cutting lines and doing everything he can to bring attention to himself. You know, we mature as actors after a while, and we learn.
I love how you say mature.
Bill was very democratic about it.
Right.
He treated everybody the same.
He treated everyone badly. Oh
my!
This is what he's saying about.
Now let me tell you
on my show. No,
I know, but I heard that you agreed with him.
Well,
we never.
I'll agree with you if you just.
We don't know you.
I said, come on,
get your hand off me.
I'm like Coco.
No, we don't know you.
There is something going on.
George, no, there's nothing going on.
There is.
Well, with him.
Did he call you and tell you he was going to go into the press and say you were having a little difficulty?
I saw George Takei about a year ago. I interviewed him for the book
that you were writing.
Book.
Yes.
And he lives in a wonderfully appointed apartment. He's got great taste. He told me the story of his life, which had a great deal of tragedy in it.
Right.
And when I left, I said, George, you know, we've spent 25 years. I don't even know you. He would come in the morning, or a morning. And
if you want to call him a rice eater, you go ahead, man. This is your time. Don't hold back.
I'm a rice eater.
Go ahead. I know. Go ahead. Yes.
He's a lovely man.
Right.
He is a lovely man. That's all I can tell you.
And this, you attribute this to a mental breakdown on his part?
I think he's selling books.
And using you, a friend of his?
Well, I don't know him.
Do you
he's
think
neither a friend, he's an acquaintance.
He's a guy you worked with.
Yeah.
But
exactly.
do you think an editor sat down with everybody and said, look, if you want to sell books, we can't just do this. You have to be fighting with somebody. There's got to be some controversy among the staff. Because I wind up saying so many things that
you just want to be near anyone.
People get mad at me.
No, wait a second. Mr. Shatner. Mr. Shatner. May I call you Mr. Shatner? I'm uncomfortable calling you Bill.
You're uncomfortable?
Yes. You're a man of accomplishment. I will call you Mr. Shatner.
Okay.
All right.
Can I
call me Howard.
Mr. Stern?
No, call me Howard. I would not be comfortable with you.
He has accomplished nothing.
I have accomplished nothing, so you can call me Howard. You don't even have to call me anything. Here's the point. This guy, Sulu.
Why are we talking about
this is fascinating to me, because this is just fascinating to me. Let's talk about it for a little bit. Then we'll get to the book and everything.
Okay.
You obviously were the star of the show, you and Nimoy, right? I mean, he was a player on the show. He had as far as I know, he sit there and go, "Yes, Captain, I'll beam you up." He somehow feels that you kept him down, that you would take away his lines.
You know,
it possible?
It wasn't even lines. Remember what he said was in one of the Star Trek movies, they wanted to make Sulu a Starfleet captain of his own spacecraft.
Yeah.
And when you were delivering your lines, you mumbled. And so they couldn't use the scene.
You know, I don't know. I'm glad you're laughing, because anybody in show business would understand. No, you know what I said to him?
Right.
No, I remember.
Well, why would you have it in for him?
No, not only I begged him to be on the show one time. He didn't mention that when he was saying, I'm not going to be on because I'm not for. I called him on the phone and said, George, you've got to be on. Everybody expects you. I didn't even remember that. But what I do remember saying one day was, George, why do you want to be a captain on another ship when all the action is taking place on the Enterprise?
Right.
I mean, you're removing yourself. Why are you doing that?
Right. That's good advice.
Well,
but you're right. They never show the captain from another ship.
They're always
all the action is on the Enterprise.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want to be Sulu
on the
Enterprise?
Don't you understand, Bill? I'm a captain.
He thinks he's really getting a promotion.
He really got into the part.
He really got into it. So I don't know what. I kept urging him to be where the action is.
You were taking him away from him being a captain on another ship.
I guess that's what.
And certainly by being a captain on another ship, he wouldn't have even been in the movie. He would have been out on another ship.
I think he's a wonderful man. I think Nichelle Nichols is a beautiful, wonderful, wondrous lady.
What was Uhura's problem?
Uhura's problem was
let me just say something.
Okay.
Let me just say something.
All right.
Uhura is the type of woman. She has nothing bad to say about anyone.
Right.
Gene Roddenberry was doing her behind his wife's back.
Yeah, and even the wife didn't have anything wrong to say about it.
Exactly. Yeah. And Uhura was treated like common dishwater by this Gene Roddenberry. He dumped her off.
Thrown out with the baby.
And she only got nice things to say about him. The only two people she says bad things about.
Who's the other one?
Me.
Well, now.
And I don't even know her. All right, let's review so far. Let's review where we're at so far.
Yeah, we're reviewing
You're claiming,
already?
George is cuckoo.
I didn't say that.
Are you saying that?
No, I didn't say that. I said George is a lovely guy. Now, you misquote?
All right, go ahead. Okay.
All right, let me just tell you.
All right, now tell me what
the last time I was with Nichelle was at my house.
Yes.
Well, I call her Nichelle. I've known her for 25 years.
And no one breaks the news to her that she's not a sex symbol anymore, and she thinks she's writing a book like every man is after her on the planet. Am I right?
I can't even...
Come on, you got to know.
Did you ever do her?
Let me just tell you.
Did you ever get her?
No.
Yes.
Not interested. Yes? You never got
at all. No, Nichelle and I were great friends.
You got to second base with her.
Never. Great. Second base, not home. Never made home.
Never
slid home. But
ever think about it?
No, used to think about it.
Right. Not anymore.
It lusted in my heart.
Yeah, right. What happened?
She was in my house for Thanksgiving a year ago.
A year ago?
Line dancing. I come up, you know how you go back and forth.
You line dance in your house?
Line dance,
big house. What's going on there?
You have, what do you have, a mansion?
No, small house, but a large floor.
And you do line dancing in your house?
Well, I had the band there, and we were
You had a band in your house and we're doing line dance with Nichelle Nichols.
And what?
And she was there at the house.
Was there.
You invited her into your home to break bread.
Come to the house for Thanksgiving. Break bread, break a turkey, and break my head.
Really?
You know, everything. So we're line dancing. As I pass her by, I said, Nichelle, I love you. She says, I love you, too. And that's the last time I saw her.
All right, let me tell you what her problem is.
Do you think she's angry that she's built like a Klingon now, and she used to be stacked and guys would really look at her? Do you think that's the problem?
That's bad, Howard.
That is bad.
Howard, that's bad.
It was kind of funny.
You're doing Coco the girl.
She lost her looks or not? True or false?
I think that a woman matures and looks differently and wonderfully in different ages.
Did you ever see her in the sack with Sammy Davis Jr.?
Sammy was a wonderful man.
Did you know that she was doing Sammy?
She says it in her book.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yes.
I read the book.
Oh,
Are you
yes.
kidding me?
Well, anyway, what her problem with Bill is...
What is her problem with William Shatner?
She did it her way.
Right.
When he wrote his book, he went and interviewed her. And asked her a lot of questions, I guess.
Right.
And then he went off and wrote his book. Then she wanted to write a book, and Bill had already exposed the affair between her and Gene Roddenberry.
I didn't read the book. I did not expose
Well, that's what she said.
No, I didn't expose the affair. She told me. In fact, I didn't know she was having
She
an affair.
said that was her story to tell, and you should...
Why is she mad?
She told me that somebody came into the room while she was with Roddenberry, and they treated it as a joke. So I thought it was a joke. I had no idea she was.
So why is she mad at William Shatner for that?
Because
he was going to steal the story for his book.
He used it in his book.
You better read the book because I never said anything.
Well, that's what she said.
Well, what are you going to do? You're going to smack these people around when you see them?
No, I love them. You don't understand. I asked somebody for 25 years.
Wait a second. I asked Sulu what would happen if you and him met now.
Yeah.
And here's what he said. Yeah. Listen to this. You got to hear this. You have to hear these things. Where are you in all of this?
Well, I'm just not listening.
But listen to this. This is beautiful. What do you think will happen if you run into Shatner at a party? One of those fancy Hollywood parties. Let's say you just happen to go
Bill would, if there are a lot of other people, and particularly the press around, he would come up to me and embrace me and say, Georgie, how have you been?
Oh, really?
Oh, you look wonderful.
And what would you do?
It's all a performance.
That's mean.
Yeah. That is mean.
Because I would say, George, how are you? You look wonderful. Because he always looks wonderful. He runs a lot. He's a long distance runner.
He looks good.
He's a great looking guy.
It's hurtful what he's saying.
Yeah, it is kind of hurtful.
It is.
Yeah. Why would he say that?
Why are they all
I'm asking you? That's why I'm asking you. But that's why I'm asking you.
You don't understand. 1-800-TECH TREK.
What is that?
I want you to put that in your mind.
1-800. How do you spell that?
TECTREK. Just remember that.
Now, what about Tech Trek?
I'm going to come to that in a minute.
Okay.
First of all, November.
So you're blowing off Sulu.
Howard.
All right, go ahead.
Let me tell your audience.
This is what George always accused him of. He never gives him anything.
Let me. You're not giving Sulu time. He's trying to get your attention like a child who misbehaved.
Right. Let me tell you a few things, and then we'll go on to any subject you want to.
All right, okay. I can't believe
November the 18th.
Go ahead. Which is?
In a few days.
It's Tisha B'Av, November 18th.
Tisha B'Av?
Yes, go ahead, yes.
And November the 19th.
The Klingon holiday.
Tish B'Av.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And on Tish B'Av, the Star Trek, the movie Generations is opening.
Yes. Oh, now that's going to be where you meet, what's his name? Picard.
Right. Okay.
Picard, who has a real bug up his ass. True?
No.
All right, we'll talk about that.
Patrick Stewart's a wonderful guy.
Great guy.
We're not going to read any books?
No.
I bet you we get the other...
Wouldn't it be awful if Patrick came out here and said, that's Shatner. He's going to meet me at a party and say, oh, Patrick, you look wonderful, but he doesn't mean...
Leonard Nimoy and you do not get along anymore.
Leonard Nimoy and I love each other.
Really?
Really love each other.
Was there a falling out?
No.
You didn't write about it in your book?
No, I loved
Didn't he get to be a pain in the ass because you started overanalyzing the scripts and you got fed up with them?
No, I love him to
Really?
overanalyze the script.
You do?
The scripts need to overanalyze.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. You notice this total equanimity. There's nothing wrong here at all.
Right, yeah, everything's calm.
Everything is beautiful.
Right.
There's never been a problem.
On the same day. There's
Do you
always
wish
a problem.
that Sulu had been in Hiroshima?
Oh,
and had never lived? Do you
That's
secretly wish
not
that?
right.
You do not wish for that?
I do not wish harm to anybody.
Really? Even though he badmouthed you?
No.
Well, you're different than I am, man.
Well,
you're on
Look,
Easy Street.
he was the captain of the Star Trek.
Yeah,
I
big
am
deal.
different from you.
You are.
It was a big deal.
I'm telling
because the same day, around the same day of November 18th,
Yeah.
Star Trek Movie Memories, the book, is coming out.
Is that right?
And did you write that book?
I wrote that book.
Oh, really?
I wrote that book. Chris Kresge and I.
Chris Kresge, yeah.
Well, you don't
What
laugh
did he-
like that.
what
I
did
wrote
Chris
the book.
do on the
Yeah,
show?
well, I never saw him on that show. Yeah.
He was really Sulu. He put this little makeup on. He was there.
Right. Best episode of Star Trek was with you and what's his
And
name?
Sulu.
No, Frank Gorshin. When he was black and white.
Yeah, and he says,
beautiful.
Did you tell the difference?
That was great.
I'm black on the right side.
That was great.
My favorite was always the guy who that scene
Commander
where
Pike?
No, not Commander Pike. The one where William Shatner was made to kiss Uhura, against his will.
Yeah. She's still writing about it. She had the hots for you, huh?
I don't know.
Hey, I was reading your book. What a sad life you've had.
He has?
Jesus Christ.
I didn't know that.
First wife.
Wait, have you read the movie Memories?
This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. The Star Trek book.
I'm stunned.
This book right here.
I'm stunned by the fact that you would...
Movie Memories.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. The first wife cleaned you out.
At the height of the show?
Out at the height of the show. You had some dough. You were starting to make some dough. And the judge says,
good for him.
Listen to this, Robin. The judge says, you're a big star now. You're going to have a lot of future earnings. And he makes you pay for future earnings, which you didn't get. True?
True.
Is that right?
Well,
what do the laws come to?
Sadder things have happened to other people.
Oh,
now, wait a minute.
I can't think of any.
Wait a minute. There are other things. I got to get this out.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. November 18th. Yes.
November 18th. So, Star Trek Movie Memories.
Yes.
The continuation of Star Trek Memories the book is out on the book stands.
Yes.
Which
is the new William Shatner book.
Right.
Yes.
Now listen. Tech War.
Is the book you wrote and turned into a TV series? I never thought you were going to do it, and you did it.
TV series is on the USA Network in January 7th.
I watched the show. I watch it.
Did you like it?
Yeah, good show.
Perfect.
First of all, your vision of the future is good. I'll tell you what the smartest thing you ever did. Your vision of how people are going to teleconference in the future when they sit at a table and they'll beam in like your hologram.
Oh, so you just have me there talking to you?
Yeah.
Well,
it'd be really
a hologram now. Look, you get behind that window.
That's where you got the idea.
She's lit
you say in your book you're now a wealthy man. What are you worth? Tell me the truth. What are you worth? $50 million?
No.
Are you worth 30?
No.
Who's got more money, you or Leonard Nimoy?
No.
Possibly Leonard Nimoy.
I'm actually divorced for the second time.
I heard from Marcy. Oh, is she a piece of ass? What happened? She was a knockout.
We used to watch you guys on the Promise commercial.
I can't believe a nice Jewish boy like that.
Oh, come on.
How did a nice
half
Jewish boy like you?
Half Jewish.
It was the other
deny
half.
the other half.
It was
I do.
The other half.
Well, there's no use saying you're half Jewish because you look completely
Jewish. I look like a money
whatever
lender.
that half is.
I look like a money
You've
lender.
got it in your pants.
Marcy was a piece of ass. True or false?
I can't describe my ex-wife in those terms.
Yes, you could.
No, I can't.
You were attracted to her because she's an attractive
woman. She's beautiful.
And you put her in commercials.
And put her in. I didn't. She got her own commercials.
No, you because you were willing to appear in commercials with her. They put her in the commercial.
How do you
Shatner.
know all these
because
things?
I know everything.
Diviner?
No,
you got
true.
this little stick.
What? You think anyone's interested in Marcy Shatner? They're just because she's your
How
wife.
many commercials you done with
Lovely
her?
lady.
What was the commercial for the Marcy Shatner? It was a car.
It Promise?
Promise.
What is that? A douche or a what is
no,
it? Butter?
Margarine.
Who knows what that is?
Why would you say douche and not a?
It's a douche. Isn't Promise a douche?
It's margarine when you stop.
Well, maybe margarine is a douche.
So how did you? What happened? Your wife had a bug to be a star, so you had to put up with that, and she got jealous of you.
The people's relationships over 20 years change.
She was a knockout when you married her.
She was a knockout. She was a knockout. She's a knockout now.
No.
You're still friends?
No. She cleaned them out. What did she get? Half of everything? It's half of everything. You know, guys fight it, but you got to give them half.
But wait a minute. Let me ask. What was the half?
Hold on a second. Wait a minute.
I discussed this with my wife the other night. I said, look, if I got a divorce from you, I'll tell you exactly how I do it.
What would you do?
I would sit down with her.
Get OJ?
No. Well, let me tell you, OJ will be out in 7 years.
If he gets
cheaper.
any time at all.
You know, I was talking to a guy the other day, and he made a point. He says, if you would kill your wife on the honeymoon, you would be out in 7 years, and you'd have all your money.
Just when you're ready to cheat.
Right? Am I right? You would have been out of both marriages. And you would have been a happy man.
Oh, my God.
Am I correct?
What a mind that conceives that kind of
But let me tell you something.
Wait a minute. Let me tell you something.
Right.
Tech War.
Yeah.
So there's a tech book out there, too.
Which you wrote.
The 6th book, Tech Power, is out there as Tech War goes on the USA Network in January.
Yes. And those are successful books.
Right. The Miracle Show, Rescue 911.
A tremendous career you have.
300 lives saved this year. We're going to do a 300 lives saved show, and an all-woman
You don't care
show.
about those people,
Women
do you?
coming to the rescue.
Do you care about the rescue?
All the
script
people.
and he reads.
Right.
They make me laugh. They make me cry more than any other show.
Really? Seriously?
Rescue
You
911
watch the show?
is a miracle.
You
show.
never have watched 911.
I'm proud of Rescue 911.
Really?
Than any show I've ever.
Do you ever watch it?
All the time.
Really?
Honest to God.
Have you learned anything?
Can you pick up?
I used to piss my. Can you say piss on that?
Yeah, sure you can.
I used to piss unless you get fined $2 million.
Well, I'm in big enough trouble.
But you've got enough money to.
But go ahead.
You pay these fines every day.
If you were into rescuing, you'd rescue Chekhov's career and help him out. Where's he now? Where is that guy?
Thing,
yeah, right.
Now the other. We're not talking about.
Isn't it ironic that you got out of all these Star Trek guys?
Yeah.
You got all this work. You got the Tech Wars. You got Rescue 911. While these guys are all bad mouthing you.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they're probably all jealous, right?
Well, you're saying these things, Howard. I'm not.
Well, do you feel that way?
Well, I imagine there's got to be some reason for them saying it. I can't figure out why.
And Marcy even got half of the Rescue 911 money?
We don't talk about terrible.
You had to give up 50% of everything.
How do you get to be such enemies?
Who? Him and Marcy?
Yeah.
Because, look, he was with her for 20 years. It was enough already.
It was 20 years.
Because I know.
You're doing your background.
I know everything about you.
Scary.
I'm a stalker.
You're a little Coco there.
Because I'm in love with you, all right? I love you, Coco.
Get your hand up.
No, listen to me. You were married 20 years.
Howard,
you were married 20 years. And you get sick of the same old thing, no matter how good looking it is. No, listen to me.
Is that what happened?
You're surrounded by beautiful women, true? All the time in your business, women come up to you. Oh, William Shatner, I saw you. I watched you since I was a kid. One thing leads to another. True or false?
Very dangerous. You can't let it lead one thing to another. No.
But it does.
Can't.
As much as you resist, it has to happen. Even me, as ugly as I am.
You're not ugly. It's just you can't see behind all that hair.
No, but you understand what I'm saying.
I mean, the Jewish part of you looks very handsome.
Thank you. I know I'm not.
It's your ass I'm not very happy with.
Did you ever get anywhere with Heather Locklear?
No, but she's a great girl.
On T.J. Hooker, you didn't nail her?
No, I love her. She's a great girl.
Really?
1-800-TECH-TREK.
Now, what do you get when you call that number?
Right.
What do you get?
TECTREK. There's a telephone. Patrick Stewart and I, on December the 11th, are going to have a telephone conference call.
Oh.
With 4,000 people.
On a computer?
With 4,000 people on the phone.
You will talk all at once.
Well, they'll be randomly selected.
Right.
But there is a telephone conference call between Patrick Stewart and me, December the 11th. 4,000 people on the Eastern time zone, 4,000 people in the Central and Pacific. 12,000 people over the period of the evening of December the 11th.
Oh, I see.
And you can buy tickets at 1-800-TECH-TREK.
Oh, I see. And then...
if you dial TECTREK 1-800, you'll get information.
Hey, Robert, maybe you and I ought to do something.
Yeah, we'll be on.
You ought to.
Maybe
because those tickets, although rather expensive, will be collector's items. There'll only be 12,000 of them. And in addition to that, there's a telephone debit card that you can buy at the same time. But
is that right?
Oh, you know what we have to ask?
What?
We have to ask about Star Trek conventions.
Oh yeah, now Star Trek conventions saved your life. True. When you were
the theater saved my life.
No, when you were down and out.
The theater saved my life.
After Star Trek, you were living in a car. True or false?
Living in a truck.
You admit that in your book.
Yeah.
You were down and out.
Yeah.
Because don't forget, Star Trek only lasted for like 2 years.
3.
Who's counting?
I counted every year.
Yeah, right. And you were doing good, but your first wife, and you divorced her, and rightly so. You become famous, and that's enough with her. She did, really?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you were cheating? True or false?
No.
Why would she divorce you? You were on a roll.
Married several years and
got boring.
Bill is difficult. Haven't you heard his whole story?
George and I would not be a good couple.
No. All right. So whatever reason, you and your first wife break up.
Yeah.
He starts to get paid on Star Trek. The wife walks out with half the money, and some lawyer figures out Bill's going to be a big star. I'll hit him for future earnings.
So you were still paying her when you got your next check?
Right.
Who the heck cares about my...
Oh, I care about that. So then you end up living in your truck. You're out of it. You're down and out. You become... Do you start to drink and do coke or what?
No.
Nothing.
I'm too disciplined for that.
I see. And you're living in the truck. It's an interesting story. And now you don't know what the hell you're going to do. Star Trek convention. These numbskulls who get together at these conventions who are out of their minds for Star Trek. I mean, to the point that grown adults running around as Klingons and learning. Now, you got to admit, the funniest thing is you have to goof on it.
Full dialogue.
Guys who spend their day learning how to speak Klingon.
Now you've trashed them. Let me go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, it was the theater that I made my living in. In fact, my agent, Carmen Levy, is right outside.
Is he really?
The guy who used to book me. And he's the guy that was calling me, saying, come back, I've got a jet that the Kennedys want to send you. Did you get that
Yes,
far?
the Kennedys Rose Kennedy is a big fan of Star Trek.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She sits in that wheelchair. What's she going to do?
I'm headed towards
She's like
Los
Commander
Angeles
Pike.
for Yom Kippur.
Right.
I got to get there before Friday night.
Right.
And my agent's saying they'll send a jet for you, and I'm saying I don't want a jet. I got to get home.
Right.
You are Jewish?
That's the story.
You're a Jew?
No, I'm black.
Are you really a Jew? Is William Shatner a Jew? Are you willing to admit that here on radio?
Half black and half Jewish.
Are you really Jewish?
Yes, I'm Jewish.
Is that true? Shatner cannot be the real name, though.
Shatner is the real name.
No. That had to be changed.
From what? What would you change Shatner from?
Shifkowitz. I don't know. Shatner is not a Jewish name. At some point, the name was changed. True? True or false?
Wrong.
Really?
Wrong. Truly wrong.
Will you take a lie detector?
10 times doesn't make it true. So
this show is enough to make you homesick for your truck, isn't it? But you wish you were there right now. All right, wait a second.
You're a toothless tiger.
Yes, exactly. So
take your teeth out.
All right, let me get this straight. So you are living in the truck and everything, and all right. So Rose Kennedy, get back to Rose Kennedy. Okay, I like that.
Well,
she calls you and listen to this. This Rose Kennedy, who looks like Commander Pike. True? True or false?
No.
Is that where you guys got that idea?
Is that how you got the idea for the Commander Pike?
Rose Kennedy is a great woman.
Really?
Wait a minute. We were talking.
Why
about
is she a great woman? She sat by while her husband cheated on her and brought.
That doesn't make her any less.
Really?
Well, if she feels life has a path to play,
right,
and she has to tread that path because it's ordained, and those are her principles.
That's an interesting take on
Interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, those were her principles.
So what happened? You partied with her? You went to her house?
With Rose?
And what did she start mumbling about Star Trek?
No. I unfortunately never got to meet her or any of the Kennedys as much as I admired them.
You never went to her house?
I never went on the jet. I kept
You
driving
turned her
home.
down.
What is it, Fafa Fui?
The story is, I'm just going to help you pull this together a little quicker, do
the Kennedys hate the Jews?
Oh!
No. Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Shatner wanted to get home quickly to see his children because he's a family man, and he got to see my kids, So he keeps turning down jets. They'll fly him in and everything. He gets home to see his kids, and they say, "Oh, Daddy, we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to a slumber party."
That's great.
I read the book.
That's good.
That's the story.
And Star Trek was a Desilu production, true?
Yeah.
Did you ever see Ricky?
And met them all.
Ricky Ricardo showed up?
I believe I did.
Unimpressed with him?
We did Babalu together.
Did you really?
I beat the drums.
And then you, so now you're a divorced man, and they start making the Star Trek movies. True? That's what really brings in the bucks. And you must be getting laid left and right. True or false?
False.
Really?
I don't want to lie to you.
Are you serious? You did not get laid.
If I were to lie to you, I'd say true. But I
never went through the whole Hollywood thing of having a lot of sex.
Never had. I
don't buy that.
You don't buy that?
You didn't take advantage of the situation you had there when you were even doing the TV show?
Can you imagine what it would be like to want to go to bed with a girl who thinks you're Captain Kirk?
Yes, I could absolutely go to bed with a girl who thinks I'm Captain Kirk.
Do that?
I would be psyched out of my mind if it was a hot babe. Who cares? Who cares why she's there?
Wouldn't you be filled with all kinds of trepidation?
Let me tell you something. I have women coming on to me all the time. Now, you take a look at this face. There is no reason.
There's a certain handsomeness.
Yeah, well, I think you're hallucinating.
That's part of the nose that we can see behind the hair as a certain elegance.
Women are attracted to me because I have this show. But the point is, I know it, they know it.
No,
they're
Howard,
in it for...
that's not the reason why.
Oh, absolutely.
It's because you're always asking them to show them your
breasts.
That's it.
No, that's not it at all.
How much do you have to pay if you say the other word?
No, $2 million.
$2 million. Come on, say it.
No, I won't.
You got to.
No.
Come on, Howard. Say the word. Say the word.
No. I will not say it.
What is at the other end of a dog when they're feeding their puppies?
Teats.
That's only 1 million.
That's right. No, you could say
an
that.
extra letter is
isn't that a
totally
joke?
Free.
Isn't it a joke that you can say that?
That is fun.
You can say teats.
Yeah.
All right.
Well,
now that you and Marcy have divorced, you are not dating? You've got to have some young chippy.
No.
Really?
No young chippies for me.
Really?
Are you serious? Is the divorce settled?
If I was you, I'd have genital warts the size of tribbles. I swear to God. I would be.
You'd be walking on your genital warts.
I vomit. Have you got the pan here? Where's the pan that everybody
You want me to get some broads in here so you can have some fun? Is that what you want to unload? Is that what the problem is?
You got 2 lusty guys there sitting there laughing at everything you say.
That's right.
And one's wearing rubber gloves. Why is that?
Because he's diseased.
He's got rubber gloves.
He's got genital warts.
He's got genital what?
He has genital warts. Yes.
Oh, don't touch me for the second.
All right, now wait a second. So you go to these Trekkie conventions.
What? I would go on a... No, that's
You
not
don't go to all of them because it's a big deal when
you go, it's a big deal.
I didn't go to
because it was beneath you.
For years. Well, it wasn't beneath me, but...
It's embarrassing.
That's about it.
It is.
I thought, I'm an actor.
Right, what is this convention?
I'm in the theater. What is this convention?
That's for Uhura, not for me. But certainly an excellent place to nail some of the female fans. True? You never nailed a fan at a Trekkie convention.
How could you do that?
That's a lie. Come on, I'm going to hook you up to a lie detector in a minute. I think Sulu knew what he was talking about. So you're yeah, that's right.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
So you did somebody here imitate him?
No, that's
because somebody who heard the show said they had his brother,
George Takei Jr.
There was George Takei Jr. who sounded like him?
Billy does an impression, but Billy's not here today.
Oh, Billy doesn't.
Yeah, Billy's not here today. Oh my.
Yeah, okay.
But that's actually George.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So
the conventions.
Yes.
So I didn't go to conventions for years. I was working in the theater trying to make a living. And
were you ever a dentist?
Was I ever a dentist?
Yes.
What? How did that?
I just want to know. Were you ever a dentist?
No.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
Where did you get that
I've looked
story?
into.
Someone once told me that William Shatner was a dentist and then decided to start acting.
No, I was an actor when I was the age of 6, and I never did anything else.
I don't know. What do you want from me? Someone told me that.
I want the truth from you. That's what I want.
Go ahead. So then you
stop yelling these lies like they're the truth.
So then you're on the Star Trek.
So then one day somebody says, "Come to New York. There's a big Star Trek convention, and we'll pay you this amount of money." I thought, well, God, I could use the money, so I go.
Right.
And I don't know what to expect.
And
I think there'll be 500-600 people, 100 people.
It's filled with like 10,000 retards.
15. No, they're not retards.
Oh, wow, come on.
No, I'm going to tell you about the people at the convention right now.
Go ahead.
15,000 people. I step out on the stage. I don't know I have no prepared material. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't even know how to say hello. I mean, you step out in front of 15,000
Listen to
people.
me.
It's like doing the radio show. You don't know what you're going to say.
Yeah, but wait a second. I am a big Star Trek fan. I will watch any Star Trek movie. I watch
the marathon.
I watch the new
everything.
Star Trek. I watch Deep Space Nine. I watch the old Star. I love science fiction. I love these shows.
Go to every movie.
All the movie. I'm right there, first one in line. And I never go to the movies. I would go see a Star Trek movie, but I would never go to a convention. You've got to be.
No, I'm going to tell you, you've got to go to a convention.
Really?
Especially if one of if somebody like Patrick or Brent Spiner, who's apparently very funny, I've never heard of, or if I'm there.
Because Uhura gets up there, starts lecturing about peace and love. It's like, I'm going to vomit from this.
I do stand-up comedy.
Really? At the convention?
At the convention. I will make you laugh for an hour on stories.
Well, make me laugh now, for God's sake. I'm sitting here for a half hour. I haven't laughed once. Come on.
You've had your mouth agape for a half hour.
I'm going to make somebody laugh. Do it now.
Spilling out.
All right. What is it, Gary?
Hey, Howard.
I'm sorry. What is that?
Does Gary do the imitations?
Yeah. Who is on the phone?
You want to talk to a guy who went to the Mr. Shatner, Patrick Stewart thing, and he can tell you like some of the really dumb questions people ask William Shatner.
All right. What were the dumb questions people asked William Shatner? Hello?
Yes.
Yeah, well, tell me. Tell me what goes on.
Let me tell you about Bill Shatner. This was about 4 years ago. I guess it was called The Two Captains.
Yeah.
They had Patrick Stewart and they had old Bill there.
Right.
Of course, Patrick Stewart was so out of place. I mean,
please.
They had him up there.
There's a guy who has contempt for Star Trek. Patrick Stewart.
They had him
Tell the truth.
They had him up there doing Shakespearean reading.
Of course. This guy wants to be a Shakespearean actor. I tell you something. He was doing. Excuse me. Now I'm talking.
Yeah,
Shakespeare. No.
Well, I'm your guest.
No, I don't care. Shakespeare. You want to do Shakespeare? Go to England.
You don't care I'm your guest?
This is a guy. No, I care that you're my guest. I don't care about Patrick Stewart reading Shakespeare. Every interview this guy does talks about Shakespeare. I said, you know what? All the years he did Shakespeare, nobody heard of him.
Nobody knew him.
Now he's on the Star Trek. Let him stay with that.
No, he is a wonderful actor.
Oh,
Shakespeare. Well, no, this is the truth.
It gets even weirder.
Actor. Who's talking?
Who is a better actor, you or Patrick Stewart? Who is better?
There's nothing about it. Who's a better
Who's a better
Who's
captain?
more intelligent, you or Robin?
I am.
No, that's wrong. I am.
There you are.
Robin's smart, but not as smart as me.
You have a difference of opinion, right?
No. What is your opinion between you and Patrick Stewart? Who do you think is a better captain?
There's no such thing as a better
When you lay down in bed at night and you think about it.
Were you a better
when
captain?
He says to be or not to be, I can say to be or not to be.
But it's the way you do it.
It's a different personality.
I'll tell you something. The new show?
You want my opinion?
Yeah.
David Hasselhoff can outact Patrick Stewart. No, not both of you. Patrick Stewart.
David can outact him, and Hasselhoff can outact me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't know what outacting means. What is it? A competition? There's no
Now, you've seen your old shows, and you saw the new shows. Which series was better?
Who is better? Which series is better?
I can't stand watching myself.
Right.
And I never watched The Next Generation because I just don't watch television. So.
What about that newsletter?
What newsletter?
There's Patrick Stewart's got a newsletter or something. There's a bunch of Trekkies out there that do a newsletter for him. What about a Bill Shatner newsletter?
Yeah, he's got time for that.
Yeah.
Books.
There's
no money in newsletter.
I got a newsletter. It's called Star Trek Memories.
Why is this guy on the phone?
Movie Memories.
He said he has the dumb questions.
Yeah,
Anyways, I was going to tell you about when Bill got out there.
Yeah, so what did Bill do?
Well, he gets on stage, and he's kind of uneasy because it was like a Saturday Night Live bit where everybody's asking all these goofy questions.
Right.
And they'd start asking about, like, obscure questions about what happened during this episode.
And you don't even know, right?
He blew them all off, and he said, just like the show, he says, get a life. He was funny.
Did you tell him get a life?
Well,
in a sense you did.
Listen to me. I want to tell you, in a sense,
it's sad.
I'm kidding them. No, it's not sad.
Sure it is.
No, it's not. Now, you
admit
it's
sad.
No, I'm going to change your opinion.
An adult. Listen, would you ever go to a Star Trek convention? Would you ever go to one? As a man, as an adult.
It's very frightening.
You would never go to one.
Well, you see, it's very frightening, but some people like, why do you go on a roller coaster?
You wouldn't even get time going on a roller coaster.
Hang on a second, I'm going to change your mind.
No.
Once in your life, I'm going to change your mind.
No, you're not.
You've got to leave yourself open to another opinion. You ready?
So when the fans mad?
When the people who go to the convention go,
he's the loser.
Because there is a bonding thing that happens between all the people.
Let me tell you what
There's
happens.
a central...
Most of them can't get laid.
Wait a minute.
And they think you're going to get laid in a Klingon costume.
No, that's not it. They find company and companionship in a mutually interesting thing, and that's why they're there.
Hey, Bill, when you're on stage looking at that audience, there's a bunch of guys that weigh 300 pounds in a skin-tight Star Trek uniform. Doesn't that frighten you?
No, it looks kind of familiar.
Hey, it's hard to keep the weight down. All right, thank you for the call.
That's beautiful.
Right. Now, Bill knows.
Meanwhile, he's sitting right there among them, that guy.
Now, let me tell you something. This guy, the loser on the phone, is telling you why he's there.
The guy on the phone tried to be kind.
Let me tell you something. When you turn to that audience of Star Trek fans and you said to them, get a life.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That's what you got to say to them. You did the right thing. Because
how are you going to know? They know every episode. You haven't watched them as many times.
Now, did you ever vomit when you walked out on stage after you looked at the Star Trek convention? I mean, did you ever just throw up and lose your lunch?
No, because I don't eat before a performance.
I see. All right, let me do this.
They're a wonderful group of people there. They are wonderful.
Mr. Shatner, let me do something. Let me do something. If you give me a few more minutes.
Yeah. I have nothing but time to sell.
Let me hold the book.
1-800-TECH-TREK and Star Trek.
Star Trek movie memories, as you say, is better than Sulu and Uhura's book because they basically just focused on you and how much they don't like you. True, and your book focuses on the entire Star Trek.
My book focuses on the making of the movies and how the political goings on that happen.
So this is the definitive Star Trek book. Their books are not good, and yours is good.
Well,
true?
Thank you. Well, that's what you said.
No, I'm asking.
Well, I'm not saying that. I think the book is a good book, but if that's what you said, who am I to disagree with you?
Isn't it true that George's book was written in little Chinese pictures, that most Americans will not be able to read it, that it is written in those funny drawings that the Chinese do?
Could I change your mind about that?
All right, anyway, the book is a Star Trek movie memories, William Shatner, and also there is a 1-800 number that you must call.
1-800-TECH-TREK.
TECH-TREK.
TECTREK.
And this will enable you to sit there with these other Trekkie types
Well, you can buy a ticket.
And buy tickets. And get information about.
And I don't know. You'll call up on a phone with 4 million people.
And there's Patrick.
You don't understand this.
I don't get
electronic revolution going on.
Will people speak to you directly?
Yes, on this Star conference call, a certain number of people will speak.
Yeah, and other people will listen in.
That's correct.
I understand. All right, now I understand.
Will somebody screen the questions so you don't get those
no
silly
screening.
1-800-TEXT-REX. So easy to remember. Marketing geniuses put that together. Why would they make a number that is so difficult to know how to spell? Because you're saying TEC. That is not...
Well,
true?
TEC because you could think
TEC,
right? So it's TECTREK.
All right, give me a break here for a second. Let me take a little commercial break.
You're giving me a break.
Let me take a break. Everyone needs a break. You obviously need a rest from that. And
actually, you're very funny.
Oh, well, I'll certainly accept that as a compliment.
And actually, the times I've heard you running for governor and things like that, and political things you had to say,
I'm smart.
Very good.
And I'm right on the money.
But I think Robin wrote your material.
No. Robin is her own man.
My own man.
Right?
Why is she behind a blue pane of glass?
You want to know the truth?
What is the truth?
She works in another room because... It's 2 reasons.
Yeah.
First of all, she prepares the news in there. She don't want to be bothered by us.
While this show is on, she's preparing the
Secondly, during the commercials, me, Jackie, and Fred talk sometimes, and I can surprise her with fresh thoughts rather than
Have
being
you had one?
No. Not yet, but if it happens, we'll do it. Not only that,
the apparatus is
you notice she is a woman. You haven't seen her chest yet. She has 2 cans that you will die for. And if you would have distracted the whole show by that, you wouldn't be able to think
How much money do you have
straight.
to say for cans?
No, come on.
Does the FCC want...
She has more beautiful breasts than Uhura.
2 people are applauding, 1 for each breast, I guess.
William Shatner is our guest. He's having the time of his life.
I've always wanted to say, though, that the funniest scene is Uhura acting as the temptress in that movie.
Seriously. You know the movie where you guys are on the planet and Uhura's job is to walk down and go climb over the mountain and tempt these guys. And meanwhile, she must weigh 500 pounds in that movie. At this point, she's falling apart. I mean, after the change, boom.
You had to turn out the lights.
Yeah. So you guys send her, and she's a grandmother at this point.
That's the movie I directed.
Yeah. How did you deal with this?
It was a gentleman wouldn't say.
Really?
Yeah. So I'll tell you.
Tell me. Come on, seriously. What happened there? Did you have an argument and say, hey, listen, we can't have Uhura go over and tempt
Come on,
these
did
guys?
you talk body double? There was a lot of discussion.
Because if I was one of the rebels who had to be tempted by Uhura at that point, I would have just thrown a spear through her, and that would have been the end of it.
Well, I thought it was a perfect strategy by Captain Kirk so that the enemy wouldn't know quite what to do.
Right.
And in their indecision, we could attack.
I see. That's kind. I tell you, Bones in a dress is more of a turn on.
Don't you know the extras were revolting and said, we can't pretend that we can't go to war because of that.
Right. But it was very nice of you to direct the movie and let Uhura play the temptress way after she should have been a temptress. And you would think she would appreciate that, not bad now.
She's a beautiful looking lady.
Well,
she really is.
All right. Believe me, there wasn't an erection on the entire set that day.
There were several scaffoldings.
All right, William Shatner is here, of course, the captain of the Star Trek, T.J. Hooker, 911, and the new book.
Just name the series.
Star Trek Movie Memories and 1-800-TECH Wars. Tech Trek.
Yeah.
And we'll be back. Let me close off this thing properly after the commercials, okay? All right after these.
Oh, my.
We're sitting here with the great Bill Shatner. He's done it all and given it all away in the same lifetime. It's unbelievable.
Are you going to get married again?
No.
You're going to try it one more time?
Absolutely not.
Oh, my.
If I was you, I wouldn't.
Ask you, Howard.
Let me tell you, if I went through the divorce and paid all that money, and they must pay a lot of money because it must be worth it.
He's done it twice.
I tell you, marriage life is a great life.
Yeah, so that's it.
How come it doesn't work, though?
Well, it worked for long periods of time for me.
It's supposed to last forever.
20 years along.
Tell me about your affair with Raquel Welch, when that happened.
Well, Raquel was a knockout. I've never
Still
met
is,
her.
don't you think?
You never met her?
No, never met
her. I was just fishing. I was just...
you had me going.
You got a minute. I thought I'd take it one sentence longer, but if she's listening, you know...
But do me a favor. Don't get married again. It's sad.
Really?
When you have to give away all that money. I have 2 words for you.
Yeah.
Hookers.
Oh.
Go for it. That's what I do.
TJ Hookers.
Never mind TJ Hookers. It's just regular hookers and it's over with and you feel good and then you're done to the next. I go to strip clubs. Boy, if I was single, I know exactly how I'd play it.
Well,
never
you
get married
hear
again.
about William Shatner in any of those places.
No, he's very dignified. Now, when you recorded Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, all those songs,
When did that happen? What
that
part
was
of your
for real?
career?
Was that for real, though?
Well, it was for real in that there was an album called The Transformed Man. And in that Transformed Man was a concept album. So I thought, if I took a piece of literature, put that to music, and then took a song whose lyrics complemented the lyrics.
Man?
Okay, Tambourine Man. Is this
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Okay, this is a drug addict.
Mr. Tambourine Man.
Okay, this is a drug addict.
Who would know that?
Well, if you had the previous cut, you'd know that.
Wait, this is unbelievable, this album. To me, this is unbelievable. And when you're sitting there, the record company thought, this is it.
Well, I mean, this is not a bad performance for a drug addict.
No, but I'm saying, no, you were not a drug addict. You were playing the role.
Portraying a drug addict.
All right, let me hear this.
I never got that.
You know, John Lennon started taking drugs from this?
Howard, I hate to interrupt, but something pretty amazing.
What?
George Takei is on the line.
Oh, good. Now,
well,
Bill.
maybe we can patch everything up.
This is great. Do it, Bill. Let's have a patch.
Oh, my.
Come on, let's have a patch
Maybe
up.
George is calling to say, you know what? I didn't understand that Bill was...
Well, George?
Okay.
Good morning.
George, you sound sleepy. I know it's late. It's early.
Very early, yes.
And you're in your apartment?
Very early.
Who are you with?
George, let me ask you.
Now, which Bill Shatner am I talking to?
The one you love.
The one you love.
Bill Shatner A, the one who took away my scenes in the movies, or Bill Shatner B?
Well, let me ask you something.
Who's B, George?
George, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Why are you saying all these nasty things about William Shatner? He says he hardly knew you. He wouldn't even have the time to take away.
We worked together.
Right.
For 25 years.
Yes, right.
It was a wonderful time.
Is Uhura there with you now?
Wow.
There's Uhura.
Now, everybody just look at here. I want to get me in a rocket ship.
All right, stop that. All right, that's Billy. Did you know right away it wasn't George Takei?
Oh, I kind of figured it was.
You did?
You know, the working title of my book was going to be Bill Shatner's A Pain in My Tooties.
Pretty good impression, though, right?
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
Oh, George,
all right, thank you.
You look wonderful.
You should have been here
today.
That was George Takei Jr.
George Takei Jr. was on the phone.
Imagine somebody thinking that was his son.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, let's get back to it for 1 second.
Yeah.
I don't want to hold you up too much. You're a busy man. I understand that.
I just need to know when in his career this happened. Was this in the height of Star Trek?
No, I think this must have been at the low point.
Okay.
I think. Yeah, I don't know.
I tell you, I think the album is very good. I'm very
really
proud of
seriously.
The album. Yeah, I really do. And the cuts that people have stolen and placed separately,
right,
make it sound, if you don't understand it, make it sound either foolish or ridiculous. But it in my mind, it wasn't.
Play a little more. Play it.
But let me presage it.
Yeah.
Cyrano de Bergerac had a speech which ended, "I may climb to no great heights,
yes,
but I will climb alone."
Yes.
It had music to it. That segued into Mr. Tambourine Man.
Right.
And this became a guy who couldn't stand alone, needed drugs, and he was after Mr. Tambourine Man.
You're reading too much into these songs.
No,
I am telling you.
Tambourine Man was the drug addict.
You're reading too much into these songs.
You don't understand. It was a drug song.
I am telling you.
Same as Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
No.
Is it?
Play some of the song, will you, Fred?
Picture yourself in a boat.
Now, this is a trip. This is an LSD trip.
Exactly.
Tangerine trees and marmalade sky.
What does it mean?
What does it mean? Exactly.
So I'm on a trip.
All right. I think the producer was deaf. I'm telling you right now. This is crazy to talk a song. Who talks a song? You got to sing it. Let me hear you sing this song.
On the MTV Awards,
right?
Who shows their ass?
I did. I showed my ass.
You showed your ass.
I
sang some songs.
I can't
That's the difference in our opinion.
I thought Mr. Tambourine Man, in all seriousness, was your ex-wives, and the tambourine was your money. And your wives went off with the money.
What a great interpretation.
That's what I thought it was.
Exactly what it was.
Listen to me.
Yeah.
It did a great job on this Star Trek and the Star Trek movies. You did a nice job on this book. You should be very proud of yourself, okay?
Thanks, sir.
All right. This is called Star Trek Movie Memories, William Shatner, with Chris Kresge, whoever the hell that is. I never saw him on the show.
One of the Klingons, I guess.
Whatever.
Good writer.
And T.J. Hooker, you did this rescue show. You pulled yourself up from your bootstraps at your lowest point when Star Trek was over. You should be very proud of yourself. You understand what I'm saying? You son of a bitch, I love you. Come here. Come here and hug me.
Come here.
Come over here. Come over here. Okay?
It's going to be a big Hollywood hugging.
Come here and hug me.
I showed them.
6'6". Come here, you. That's good. Did you love that?
I love that. You're a good guy.
He told me he was afraid to come in.
Oh.
Don't be a pussy. You come right in here like a man.
Look at this guy. He's tall.
I'm good looking, too.
Tall, thin guy.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who lives in that truck now that you used to live in? London Lee, the ex-comic, or whatever he is?
Anybody
Who lives
who
in
gets
there?
a divorce, I sell it to him.
That's it.
I think Frank Gorshin is in there.
You picked yourself up. Frank Gorshin's in that truck. Who are your friends? Who are your friends? Who are your Hollywood friends? Who's your most famous friend? Who do you hang around with?
Well, I hang around with a group of guys you don't know.
Oh, really?
Horse people, a lot of horse people.
Horse people? You're into that horse thing?
A lot of horses.
You race, or you just
I breed
race?
horses.
Good way to go bankrupt.
Yep.
Talk to Wayne Newton, and Burt Reynolds was with the horses, too.
Yep.
Just stay away from
we
that.
know about all that.
Yeah,
but,
be careful.
The horses are a passion, and I have a lot of good friends, but people you wouldn't know.
Invite me out of your house sometime. I'd like to ride some of those horses.
You come to my house.
Really?
I'm serious.
You put me on, or are you making a joke?
I'm not making.
Because if you put me on, I'll throw you right out of here. You understand what I'm saying? All right.
You come to Los Angeles, you come to
Really?
my house.
I'll hang out your house?
Well, I don't know about hanging
With
out.
the broads? You got a thing going on out there. You've had some young girls. What's the youngest you ever had? 20?
40.
Oh, come on. He's having a party out there. He's not sharing. I know what's going on. You sit there in front of the computer, you type a book.
You bring your wife. I know a little bit about you.
I'll let you have sex with my wife. What do you think of that?
That
you
much
wanna?
I don't know. But how does his wife put up with that?
Well, she doesn't
How does he go home at night?
What's your
take
house
these
like?
offers.
Is your house decorated like a spaceship?
You don't have one of those Star Trek
It's kind of
bathrooms.
Spanish.
Do you have a Star Trek? Do you have a Star Trek bathroom? You got a whole bunch of Star Trek stuff hanging up in your house?
It's awful.
What, do you?
I never watched the show. I never
Really? You don't even care.
But you know what I gotta say?
I care, but I can't say.
Right.
You say he's had a lot of marital troubles and so forth, but none of his wives have wound up in that club.
Oh, thank God. Did you ever see that club?
No, what's
of the whiners? All the ex-wives
the
club?
ones that have trying
man.
to survive.
Yeah. Tell Marcy never to do that.
Well, you know, Leonard Nimoy has not been so lucky.
Yeah, his wife's in the club. Do you
and
know that?
always crying.
And Leonard passed it. Did you read this story in People magazine?
You've been telling me, no.
Leonard Nimoy becomes a big star. He dumps his wife after 30 years.
No.
Yeah, he waited
doesn't
a long
dump his
time.
wife.
He dumped his wife.
Listen to me.
Come on.
It was a long, arduous process. He had a lot of pain.
It was hard to get rid of
All
her.
right. She was a pain in the ass. So now she's in People magazine.
Yeah.
She says she sees Leonard at some function.
Yeah.
Leonard walks right by her like he doesn't know her, and now she's in People magazine whining about it.
Well, let me tell you something.
That's
Leonard Nimoy is a wonderful man who's happy for the first time in a long, long time in his life. Talk about picking yourself up from your bootstraps. He did it.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
His head's not as pointy as those ears?
He's a wonderful man.
Really?
And he is happy for the first time in a long time.
What, has he got a young chippy?
He's got a great wife.
Oh, no kidding.
Susan's great.
Yeah, there's a new
How
Mrs.
old?
Leonard Nimoy.
Has he got a 4-year-old?
No, she's younger than he and better looking than he.
No kidding. Listen, he deserves it. I deserve it. Believe me.
What's he going to do about this woman, though, running around giving her
There's
these
nothing he can do.
He's got to shut her up.
I know.
I mean, he's got a problem. He's got a problem. He's got a problem on his hands. Oh,
and
man.
he knows it.
Look, at some point, a woman's got to say, listen, at some point, a woman's got to say,
it's all over.
It's over. Let me get on with my life.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Not
And
Mrs.
people should
Nimoy.
recognize that there are certain personalities who can't give up.
Right. Well, believe me, O.J. might have been onto something. Who knows? I don't know what the story there. O.J. innocent or guilty? Quickly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Enough said. The great William Shatner, of course, who, you know what I'm talking about, right? Okay. Star Trek Movie Memories, William Shatner with Chris Kresge is the new book. You can read all about William Shatner's somewhat sad life in the beginning. It has a happy ending.
I've had a great life.
But very, very... Who will play you in the movie, I wonder, when they make a movie out of this?
If you weren't so tall.
I could do it. And, of course, read all about it. Read about the first wife cleaning him out, living in a tin can.
Yeah.
You will read everything. The book holds nothing back. And pleasure to meet you.
Thank you.
That's William Shatner, everyone. And remember that if you want to get in on that big conference call, you call 1-800...
Tech Trek.
Tech Trek. Interesting concept, Robin. You and I will look into it. How much money can you make doing that? A lot?
It's not so much money; it's an electronic miracle.
Oh, please!
And it's
don't give me any of that crap. I'll throw you right out of here.
So why are you involved?
I won't even shake your hand goodbye.
And it's a
unique event for electronic marvel. Are you going to hand me that, or are you going to talk the truth? All right.
Telephone first.
Okay. Sure. All right. There's a miracle. A miracle. You can't take Jesus to the bank. You want a miracle. All right. Very good. William Shatner, God bless you with your miracle. And we'll be back after these words with the news and things like that. I got to talk about the zookeeper for 2 seconds before we jump into the news, because we got to decide what we're going to do. I keep going back and forth in my mind. Would it be better to have the zookeeper down here with all the different people and everything, and then bring some reporters into our studio, rather than go down to Philly and do a whole damn day down there around the zookeeper? The zookeeper, for those of you who are just tuning in...
Well, surely we could get a whole show out of it.
Yeah, yes, we could.
That's not a question. The question is, and, you know, we shouldn't only think of what's good for us, because it'd be better for us to just stay at home.
That's right.
What is best for the show?
Now you've asked the question.
Now,
yes, Papa Fooley?
Would you be interested in hearing...
Give me the scenario.
How the zookeeper feels about this? Or
no, it doesn't matter how the zookeeper feels.
That's not necessary.
The zookeeper doesn't enter into this. This is a show that could either end up in everyone saying, okay, the zookeeper has cleared the air with us. He has come to us. He has begged for my forgiveness. He has asked permission to go work somewhere else.
This great war is over.
The great war is over. He has done the right thing. He's finally
like Israel and Palestine getting together.
Do we want to have that over the radio in a controlled environment like the studio, where we have our access to our tapes, where we're totally comfortable?
Or do you want to have a big ceremony?
A big ceremony. Does it merit a big ceremony? That's what we have to ask ourselves right now. Where will it be most effective? In other words, what will be the best show? And what will fit most into our lifestyles?
Well, see, there's a consideration.
Exactly. That means Thursday night, going down to Philly, traveling down, the whole thing.
The ride back.
Yeah.
Of course, every kook that's ever been near us has already asked permission to come. All our Whack Pack friends.
Right.
Send them. You know,
send them and we won't show up.
Everybody from Nicole to Roa. To,
really?
You know, everybody wants to be.
Well, it's a big event. The zookeeper.
I'm sure everybody'd be very excited to just see us in Philly.
You know, 8 or 9 years ago, we went into Philly. I don't know what it was, 7 years ago, whatever it is. And the zookeeper was so full of himself that he has finally come to his senses and realized he must come to me and ask permission to work.
Is he willing to admit now that you're the greatest radio performer?
Well, he'll have to. Because how could he not?
What's he going to
say?
I'm better?
He's going to say Howard's not so good like he did on these tapes.
How could he say that?
He can't say that. I defeated him. Hands down. That's like after you lose in a chess match saying I was good, I just had a bad day.
I'm not taking anything from him, but I wasn't having a good day.
That's like the Giants saying, no, all these losses are a fluke.
Yeah, it wasn't one win once, Robin. It was over a period of years.
I'm not asking you what the facts are.
But I think that because we are on in 18 cities now, we have expanded our listener base, that depending on the town that we're broadcasting to, it is important to some towns and it is not as important to others.
Yeah, there are a number of cities that don't even know our history.
It's the sad reality of success, Robin.
Miami, Orlando, Myrtle Beach.
Well, they understand the celebration.
Well, it depends on what kind of celebration you have. See, you had mentioned something about having a big name band play and things like that. Now, that would be very interesting to
you know us. We can't get that together. So let's be honest. That would be very difficult.
Well, that's what I was
I have
had an offer.
Oh, you did?
Yeah?
Write down the name. Let me see who the big name band is. It better be a big name.
3 letters.
Okay, just stop it.
What was it? Let me see.
That is a good band, but she's talking about the Beatles reunion.
I can't see it.
We can't get those guys.
Oh. Who, the Beatles?
Sure we could.
Oh.
She's excited.
Well, look. I don't know.
I think
no matter what we decide, we should do it on Friday. So we can have proper...
That wonderful day. It'll be a great send-off to the week.
Right.
Great time, give us some time to prepare.
Exactly, Robin. Now, even if we want to do it on Friday and go to Philadelphia and have the big celebration, is the engineering department going to be able to get it together in time?
They say they can try. They think they can.
What does try mean? Are they going to tell us no when we're there?
Yeah, but you got to either.
It always works out where we give them an impossible task and they always pull it off. They just have to work a lot of hours.
What is it, Thomas?
Well, I would just say if you're going to go to Philadelphia, you got to definitely decide today, and then they can make it happen.
They can.
Yeah.
Do you believe him, Robin?
I believe Tom when he says anything.
Really?
Well,
that's your mistake.
If he says they don't have any more money, they don't have any more money.
1986, we went to Philadelphia? And what year is this?
1994.
All right, how many years would that be?
That would be 8 years.
8 years ago we went there.
Over 8 years.
Wow, it's been that long?
It took 8 years to get the zookeeper to come in here and ask my permission to work, but it worked.
It was a progression of a lot of events.
That's exactly right, Fafa Fooey.
So yes, I mean, you want to go to Philadelphia, we'll make it happen. You want to stay here?
What is your vote? Do you think we should go to Philly, or do you think we should do it from here? What would be the better show?
And hearing what some of your concerns are, I think here makes more sense.
Yes.
You know, the awkwardness, those, what do you do in those pregnant pauses?
Right.
And I will tell you, I don't, either way.
You sure that's your opinion, or you want to ask someone?
Did you sleep on that?
As I said to the Jackie puppet, no. And I didn't even have to have that conversation.
Right.
I did that all on my own.
All right, so you thought that up on your own.
Actually, Penelope.
You think it would be better here? See, I might agree with you.
I think that, it's going to be somewhat awkward.
We could have some reporters down here.
Sure. Right. And I know you well enough to know that you're going to feel somewhat uncomfortable.
It's going to be weird.
And
I also know that there are some people from his past that are uncomfortable to face him, but wouldn't be uncomfortable to call him.
Right, do it exactly.
Is that right?
You do phones from Philadelphia as well.
They're still afraid of him?
Do that.
Why are they so afraid to confront him?
It's just uncomfortable.
Because some people aren't quite as brave and bold.
I see. Would that be you, Tom?
Not me.
All right.
I have nothing.
You had no Dabella stories, though.
I always thought those tapes were pretty hysterical.
They are good.
As we talked about.
Those are awesome. Listening to those yesterday were incredible.
Either way.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tom. So in other words, you don't have an opinion.
No,
already he changed his vote to I don't know.
All right.
I should tell you that.
What did he say?
Somehow his opinion went to I don't know.
I should tell you that our program director of Philadelphia votes for us to go down there.
He does.
And our general manager down there is sort of on the fence about it.
On the fence.
Oh. So we have all...
Robin, decide right now. Do me a favor. Decide. I'm burnt out on decisions.
Magic 8 Ball.
Magic 8 Ball it is.
There you go.
We have a talking Magic 8 Ball, Robin.
We do?
Yep.
And what does it say?
Turn it upside down.
Magic 8 Ball. Should we go?
No.
Ooh.
My answer is no.
There's no way we can be answering to
the Magic 8 Ball said no.
Ow.
Well, there it is.
What was the question? You didn't even pose one.
Should we go?
The Magic 8 Ball is as bald as Dabella.
I think not.
Hey, there it is again. This thing doesn't shut up.
Yes, it is definitely possible. My answer is maybe. Ow!
My answer is maybe. Sounds like a day in Tom's office. Well.
It's the only answer from Tom's 8 Ball.
Tom has an 8 Ball in his office, but it's broken. It only, yeah. Well, the 8 Ball says no. It says do the interview out of here.
You know what? As I think I'm trying to visualize this in my mind, and I think the most play comes from a direct confrontation without all the ostentation.
That is true. I'll tell you why. If I'm in front of a crowd with that, it becomes like a performance.
Shtick.
Yeah.
It almost becomes sticky.
Yeah. It's not real.
Now, what do we do with Dabella during the commercials?
We don't
that's
take any.
what I'm going to enjoy.
We don't take any.
Seriously, why don't we go commercial free for an hour?
Good.
We can move them around. I mean, we'll have to ask Tom's permission. Maybe we can move a few this way and a few that way.
I don't want to be in here with the guy during commercials. I want it all on the air.
I have to have a good time, too. And I love watching you in those.
Oh, yeah. Well, I tell you what, for this interview, it's going to be different. You're going to sit, he's going to be set up in your little booth. That's what I want. That works for me.
I mean, I feel really uncomfortable having to greet him and then sit in the guest lounge, and, you know, you sort of have to rap to the guest. But
We have to do what we have to do, don't we?
That's right.
And we will do it. We've had 8 bald years waiting for this moment on Friday. Let's make it for Friday. Let's make it here in the station. Here's who I want here. I will invite members of the Philadelphia Press if they want a photo op. I will do my pregame show from 6:30 to 7 or 7 to 7:30, where I play tapes of DeBella and get the audience revved up. Then he walks in.
At 8 o'clock.
Is he going to wear his duck costume?
I don't know.
Why not?
I think that was, I swear, I think that was auctioned off.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What a
Just
shame.
find out what he has from those days.
Yeah.
Wait, you know what? I'll tell him to wear his Hawaiian shirt Wednesday.
Yeah. Hawaiian Gonzo shirt.
Hump Day Gonzo Wednesday shirt.
Couldn't we
Then he comes in, and then he asks permission to work.
At whatever station.
At whatever station that he wants to work at.
You consider it?
Consider it, depending on his attitude.
Okay, now do we want to
and
get...
the location.
There's 2 or 3 people that he used to work with. Should we do that live or phone?
Oh, live. No phone.
If Howard has to confront, they have to confront.
Yeah, everyone confronts. It's going to be one big confrontation.
Okay. You know that whole, Mother, may I take one giant step?
Yes.
You should start from the street. May I enter the building? May I go in the elevator?
Oh, you're terrible, Jackie.
Not a bad idea, though.
That's funny.
All right.
Okay, then we have...
E-camera following it. That'd be pretty.
And what else do we need? We have some of those people coming to talk about... I have 2 or 3 of those people.
And what else? We had some good... Well, now we have 2 days to prepare. What is it, Stuttering John?
Jenks has been calling me in the back.
Yeah, we want Captain Jenks.
Howard, you know what I was going to say?
Yeah.
You think we could let, we should get permission from DeBella to let Jenks play his tapes of his private conversations with him.
Oh, that's
really
good.
funny.
Now, that's good.
Oh.
That's good. That's good.
Those are incredible.
They're really incredible. He's just playing me one of them.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, all right. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah, if he wants to work, he got to give us permission to play those.
It all depends on how cooperative he is.
Yeah, if he's cooperative and he helps my show, I will probably be amenable to having him work wherever it is he wants to work.
Suppose he says to you, I want to work in Philly again.
That's okay, as long as he's amenable and he has permission and I'm happy with the station and the situation, I will grant permission.
And a time slot.
That's right, time slot, everything matters.
Can we get the guy who's going to work?
This is what I like, when a disc jockey that I target has to come and ask my permission to work.
There's nothing bad about it.
Nothing wrong with it. Maybe it's one of those moments you wait for. Some people want Academy Awards, some people want Emmys. Me, I just want
a big picture.
I just want to do this.
Do you think it might work to have him finish up this whole thing by taking some sort of an oath?
Yes.
Oath
is good. Repeat after me as you do, Fafa Fooey.
Wow, that'll be fun.
Hey, and Ron, listen up. You're next. All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back right after these words. Robin, it's the time in the program where I turn it over to you, where my beautiful woman gets to do her news.
I don't know if I like you being so possessive.
My lady.
I haven't gotten married for a reason.
Getting nervous?
Huh? Get nervous about what?
About me being possessive?
Yes.
You think I'm like OJ?
Might start following me in the bushes.
If you had stayed with any of those guys much longer than you did, I might have gone insane.
First of all, I must...
Did you see what I'm doing here during the commercials?
No.
I'm writing a book about working with Bill Shatner.
You're disgruntled, aren't you?
Yep.
You're very upset.
Oh, my. Bill Shatner really got upset when George Takei said, what do you think will happen if you run into Shatner at a party? One of those fancy Hollywood parties. Let's say you just happen to go somewhere.
Bill would, if there are a lot of other people, and particularly the press around, he would come up to me and embrace me and say, Georgie, how have you been?
Oh, really?
Oh, you look wonderful.
And what would you do?
It's all a performance.
It was like Pearl Harbor in here, where the Japanese were just bombing.
I thought he knew what had been said.
No. He got hurt. He did. I saw the look of hurt in his eyes, and you know me. I left a feed on that. So.
Yeah, but the tapes were quite a surprise to him.
Yes.
He really didn't know exactly what Takei had said.
I wanted him to really unload, call him a nip, do the whole thing.
Is that where William Shatner goes when he's upset?
I have a sneaky suspicion, yes. Goes right to the racist thing.
Oh, boy.
That dirty, filthy nip. I'm sorry. Them yellow bastard. How dare he? Just because I'm a white American, and he is jealous.
Those were Howard's words. William Shatner never. He was nothing but kind.
I can tell he wanted to say it.
He was nothing but kind.
Filthy Japanese bastard. You know, because William Shatner told me during the commercials, we were talking about George. He says, I don't even know the guy. He says...
Yeah, it sort of sounded like George... He was there all week doing Star Trek, and George Takei would come in one day.
He says it's like, are the people that you work with in this building, you see him in the hall and you go, hello? He said, that's...
Your relationship.
That's my relationship with the guy. He says, so I don't know what to say.
Well, you know, we do have the impression that the whole gang was really on a starship.
Yeah.
They see each other all the time.
I thought it was a little closer than what he said. All those years. You know, all those years. Hey, how you doing? Hello. Bill.
Hi. What do you do here? He was Mr. Sulu.
But William Shatner did say, you know, that voice is very, very interesting of his. And, you know, I think it says a lot about a person.
Oh, you two having a lot of discussion off the air.
Yeah, well, Jackie, you heard it. William Shatner said, well, you like to know what I talk about during the commercials.
Of course, yeah.
He just said, you know, think about it. He says, I happen to be a very auditory person. He says, a lot of times I don't look at people directly. I like to hear what they have to say, and I'm better on the phone. You know, this is him saying it. He said, when you hear a voice like that,
what do you think?
Well, he says, you know, there's something going on, right? Oh, my. He made a good point.
Now that I'm thinking about it, whenever they used to do the shot, Sulu, get us into warp factor 10.
Yeah.
Then you'd see Sulu. You didn't see a lot of two shots.
No.
They were never even.
I don't even know that they did those scenes together. Aye, aye, Captain. Yeah.
You talk like that, too, if you only had 3 words a week to say.
Yeah, right.
You drag them out.
Hello.
Aye, Captain.
Aye, Captain.
Well thought out.
All of a sudden, he and Bill are best friends.
Unbelievable.
Was Bill saying he knew Uhura a little better? I don't know.
No, we didn't get into Uhura. We were talking mostly about George Takei.
Yeah, we didn't have any tape of her. So.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get any either.
She hates both of you.
Yeah. Anyway, you
were the picture in your face.
What?
On your face, you were trying to picture his house with the band and the line dance.
Yeah, that was wild.
What a free-for-all.
He had Uhura over his house a year ago when they were doing line dancing.
I don't know. You know, you picture those Hollywood parties a lot different than the same thing you see on TNT.
Yeah, isn't line dancing that country music?
That's very close to country western.
That is.
It is. Boot scooting and all that stuff.
Right. Line dancing at William Shatner's house.
Push.
You don't picture the Star Trek cast.
As he left, they say, listen, you son of a bitch, next time I'm in L.A., I'm calling you. I'm coming out to your place.
The line dance.
Can you imagine me at William Shatner's house, like just hanging out?
With you, girl.
John has pointed out that it was really funny that if they were all supposed to be such good friends, how come he kept calling him, isn't it George Takei?
Yeah.
And he kept calling him George Takei.
He said he didn't know him.
Yeah, he says he doesn't know him. But William Shatner said, I don't even know George.
How could you not? I mean...
He says, we used to pass each... He says, because first of all, most of our scenes weren't together. And he says, and like, you really didn't...
Right.
You didn't know the guy.
He was there at the place all week, and on Wednesdays, you know, George would be there.
I just thought they did a lot of conventions together. You just get the impression they all hang out.
No, Shatner, first of all, never goes to a convention with the other guy.
Yeah, it's a whole... He might go with Patrick Stewart.
Right.
He kind of...
Because he's a captain.
Right.
They're both captains.
They're both captains. Oh, how funny was it when William Shatner said George Takei was all excited because he was going to be a captain in on another ship, and Bill Shatner had to explain to George Takei, doucheface, if you're a captain on another ship, the movie's about Star Trek.
Right.
And the Enterprise.
So Sulu got upset because he says, but you're taking away my promotion. Because what's the difference? Don't you want to be Sulu?
Like they were going to spin off his ship into another movie.
His ship would have been out of the movie.
In the book.
How funny was that?
He thought he was getting promoted.
In the book, Shatner talks about how Sulu was always trying to improve his plot line, and how Shatner saw them as sort of dopey and had to try to placate him, because I know they did one where it took... What was the last one? I guess it was Saving the Whales in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Sulu wanted to go back, and he would meet one of his ancestors and have this whole plot line where he met, like, his great-great-grandson or something like that, and Shatner didn't want to do it, and he got all bummed out because it would have been a whole chunk in the movie.
First of all, it also takes away from the main plot of the movie.
Yeah, what did they have to do with finding the whale?
Nothing, but it had a lot to do with giving Sulu more lines.
Yeah, just Sulu would have been a character.
Yeah.
Would have been a player.
Unfortunately, it sounds like George Takei wasn't very good at expanding plot lines. You know,
well, he's not a writer.
To think about, you know, the plot of the story and carrying the movie along.
Yeah, it should be about like how he used to be a Japanese whale hunter or something. Maybe we can get into it.
One of his grandsons is a whale expert.
Yeah.
Well, he could have written that in.
But he didn't think of it.
He's looking for angles.
It's funny. It's just funny to hear about how they fight. And you can tell William Shatner after a while just didn't want to talk about it anymore. And I kept pressing.
Yeah. But you could see that it was like, how many people in the crew? There were 7 or 8 huge egos.
Yeah.
All having to be satisfied.
If those people actually had to fly a ship, it would crash because they all hate each other.
Right.
They never work together.
Oh, man. Wish you'd come over here and play with me, Robin.
You know what? You always make those invitations so inviting, Howard.
I need somebody to touch me.
You always... You know, I was almost over there.
Yeah. It's a turn-on. All right, go ahead. Come on. Let's stop with
what I was going to say, speaking of turn-ons, was... And you have to, you know, take my movie recommendations with a grain of salt if you want to.
No. Go ahead. What do you got?
I went to see Interview with a Vampire.
Oh, how did you get to see that? I'd like to see that.
A friend of mine got a ticket to a special screening.
Oh. Who's your friend?
Jackie Mama.
Who's my friend?
George Takei. Who's your friend? I mean, is it a show business person?
She's a writer. And she has a friend who was in the movie business, and she called him and got...
Who's that, Judith Regan? Yenta?
No. You want to know her name?
Yeah.
It's Carolyn Fireside.
Oh.
But anyway.
A fellow writer.
That's right.
You're hanging around with the literary.
We're both authors, so we're hanging out.
Fellow, I'm an author. I could have been in that crowd.
I could have called you. Only she had the tickets. But anyway.
So you went there, and was it great?
This movie is incredible.
Yeah?
I
can't wait to see it.
Coming out of this movie.
It's a feel-good movie, isn't it?
Well, Oprah's right. It is a dangerous movie because I felt so good. I was walking down the street.
You wanted to be bitten.
And wound up jumping into a cab with a total stranger and sharing a ride home.
Really? Because you were... Oh, my.
I just, it didn't bother me. This person comes up and starts talking to me. We're going the same way. I just got into he could have been anybody.
Boy. What the hell has this got to do with the movie?
I felt that good. And then this morning... what is
going on with you?
Crawling around in my bed as I got up pretending I was a vampire.
Oh, my God. You've got to get a boyfriend.
It had to happen.
It had to happen.
She snapped.
You got to get a boyfriend.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was great, huh?
Yeah.
I got to go see that. It looks real cool.
It is so cool.
It's a great book.
And if you like the book, they do the book justice. Much justice.
See, that's how I feel about my movie. People are saying to me, geez, your movie over with. I said, no. I've made everyone go back to the drawing board. If you like the book, the movie should look like the book.
That's right.
So I started all over again. The whole process. Till we get it right.
Because that's your greatest fear. A book that you really liked will be butchered by the movie company.
Right.
And this, they did. Brad Pitt is great.
Brad Pitt.
Tom Foos is great.
Tom Foos. He's as dumb as a wall.
It doesn't matter. He plays a good vampire. Yeah. The little girl in it is fantastic.
So your review is so good that you rode in a cab with a stranger. All right, go ahead.
That's right. You'll take a cab with a stranger after this film. I wanted to be a vampire. Felt invincible.
Oh, my.
Yeah? Sounds pretty cool.
I'm a person of the night. How can he be a problem to me?
Yeah, it's a cool... Did you read the book?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a cool book.
And I had a cape on. I was sweeping through.
Oy. All right, what is in the news?
You want to get the news?
Yeah, come on, let's get it. I don't trust you, but I'll listen to the news. I think you flipped your lid.
Oh, boy. Well, anyway.
Come on. Just excited. Go ahead.
When I see a good movie, it affects me. I was crawling around.
Why weren't you home running your book?
Well, it was research. I had to see how this book was done.
Right.
Anyway. Don't know what to start off with here first. The elections probably are the thing that's on the top of everyone else's mind, so let's get to that. We have some major races here in New York. We are trying to elect a new governor.
I'm begging people to vote for Pataki.
Get one more shot in, Howard.
Yeah, I just got to say, think about the reality of waking up tomorrow morning, Mario Cuomo is the governor, and you're still paying 30 cents more a gallon for gasoline than New Jersey. You're the highest taxed state in the world.
Oh, so you don't care about paying 30 cents more. Well, think of all the jobs that are leaving.
Right.
Think of all the companies that won't do business here because it's just too expensive.
And then think about that jerk sitting in jail at the taxpayers' expense, as George Pataki said this morning, for $700,000. This animal who murdered people, murdered an 80-year-old guy with a piece of wire, and then did the same thing here, and Mario Cuomo made it his cause to bring this guy to New York for no apparent reason. And think about that you're going to wake up tomorrow morning.
And nothing's going to change?
And nothing's going to change. And the roads are going to be just as bad, and there's not going to be nighttime road construction. Just think about, I mean, don't sit in traffic for 4 hours and then tell me you're going to vote for Mario Cuomo.
Don't complain.
Yeah, and you have no right to complain about anything going on. And when listen, when April comes around and you're paying taxes, and you're complaining about federal tax, and you're complaining about state tax, don't come to me. Don't even. I mean, if you don't vote, or you vote for Cuomo, or you vote for that imbecile, that farmer,
Galazzano.
Yeah, Galazzano.
Whatever his name is.
You want to throw out a vote? If you don't vote for Pataki, there's something really, definitely wrong with you. Something very strange going on there. Here's a guy, educated guy, and don't tell me you're scared of what. If Mario Cuomo if his great thing is that he makes great speeches, let him go out full time and make speeches. He's not governing anymore. Don't be afraid of Pataki. Pataki's a very educated guy, very intelligent guy, speaks well, wants to do what Christy Todd Whitman does. And if you're not voting for Pataki because of Mayor Giuliani's backing the other guy, Cuomo, because for one reason, he wants to be governor in 4 years. If Pataki gets in and he's a great governor, forget about it. Giuliani's going to be the mayor.
So since he's thinking about himself, why don't you think about yourself?
Yeah, I mean,
what would be better for you?
Because Giuliani knows that he would do everything that Pataki is going to do, and it's going to steal his thunder.
We would have to suffer 4 more years to get exactly the same thing.
It's like me with Mark and Bryant. They go out to Los Angeles, do all my material. That makes me suffer. Pataki is going to do everything that Giuliani would run for. Giuliani can't run against Pataki in 4 years because he's going to be a good governor. And you know what? If Pataki's not a good governor,
Giuliani can have the job.
Then he can have the job. You understand? I don't.
In New Jersey, they are, we're trying to elect a senator here, too, Daniel Patrick Moynihan.
Well, he is going to win.
I just don't even want to mention the name of the person.
Who is running against Moynihan? Mention her name.
Bernadette Castro?
Yeah. The biggest nothing on the planet is Bernadette Castro. She is such garbage. She is so nothing that if she gets 3 votes, I will be shocked. Dust has more appeal. Here is Dust. This is Dust. I'd rather look at Dust than Bernadette Castro's face. She is such a nothing candidate. That is a woman who got to be a candidate because no one else wanted to run against our great Senator Patrick Moynihan.
They couldn't find anyone.
They couldn't find anyone. Everyone knew they would lose. So
She's a sacrificial lamb.
Right. They took a nincompoop, a complete bozo, and took her. And because, by the way, everyone knows her name here in New York because she didn't even start it. Her father started Castro Convertible.
And she used to do the little commercial. She was a little girl.
She was a little girl on a commercial. An awful commercial. A waste of a vagina.
Oh.
Bernadette Castro. Nothing.
Jeez.
They should take her vagina away from her because
I wonder
no
if
man...
she had any children and they're looking at themselves right now.
Yeah, they should bury their heads in shame if she has children. She's nothing. She is nobody. Her father invented a couch. That is her credential. That's like saying, Robin, your father works somewhere. I'm going to vote for you. That's absurd. Why would she has no credentials whatsoever? What is she? Who even knows what she stands for? She can't stand for anything. Because you can't take someone seriously who her claim to fame is her father invented a couch. A couch that folds. They should take Bernadette's head and fold the couch on top of her head so that she can't breathe anymore.
So she stays out of elections.
I wouldn't use her to start a fire.
All right.
Her body makes my private parts want to pack up and leave. My penis wants to fall off when I see her.
Go on.
She's nothing. She is lower than garbage. As low as garbage is. What is lower than garbage?
I don't think I know of anything.
Right. She's nothing. I wouldn't even look at her. If she walked into the room today, I wouldn't look at her face. That's how low she is.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen anyway.
Well, better not.
They're also having a senatorial race over in New Jersey. Frank Lautenberg running for re-election, challenged by Chuck Hatayan. They say that Lautenberg has a considerable lead, but here is Mr. Hatayan anyway.
Yeah, Lautenberg will win.
He's likening himself to a number of things that have happened recently that aren't supposed to happen.
Remember the first one, George Foreman at 46. Remember the second one, the Jets over the Bills. And remember the third one, Hatayan over Lautenberg.
Who's the guy laughing behind him?
I don't know. Got close to the mic, though.
Yeah, he's like Jackie Jr. Who is that? He's good. He's like Ed McMahon.
He got right in there. I'll be your...
Hey, no.
And races
when you
the
pick
West.
your toes and get cheese, that cheese is more intelligent and valuable than Bernadette Castro's contribution to society. If she dropped dead tomorrow, no one would miss her. Even her own children wouldn't miss her.
Forget her.
No one would miss her.
Forget her.
There isn't a man on the planet that would miss her.
I don't know why you spend so much time on someone so forgettable.
I want people to remember what they have to forget.
What?
I wouldn't. If she died tomorrow, I wouldn't bury her because it would be a waste of a hole. I'd burn her if she dropped dead tomorrow.
Well,
that would be a waste of a match. What do you think? I wouldn't even burn her. I would just eject her into space. I would throw her off the planet and hope gravity would take her away, take her to another planet.
There are races in other parts of the country, too, and I seem to have made a big mess of the whole Bush family yesterday. Without notes. What?
What? What do you want to know?
I've been reading this for days.
Yeah, right.
What did she do?
She's nothing. She didn't do a thing. She's running for Senate, and she's nothing.
That's the whole premise.
That's right. She's nothing.
Well, anyway, the Bush family, let me straighten them out for you. This is what happens when people have too many kids. You get them confused.
Right. What happened?
It turns out that Jeb Bush, who is running for governor in Florida, is in a close race with Lawton Childs, I think the current governor's name is. He is the one who's married to the Hispanic woman and says he's never slept with another woman in his life. He's never known intimacy with another woman besides his wife.
That's because a Spanish woman will do stuff to your butt.
No need.
And white women won't.
There's no need.
There's no need to cheat on a Spanish woman. Once you get your parents to go along with the Spanish woman, no reason to look
You're
back.
a happy man, huh?
They'll make the hairs on the end of your arm stand up.
One-stop shop.
That's right. Spanish women know how to make love, and they know what to do to your butt.
And tortillas.
Yeah. Zeb Bush. Good name.
Jeb.
Good name if you're traveling by covered wagon.
No, Jeb.
Whatever.
He is not
He's
Neil
nothing.
Bush, who was in the SNL scandal.
Oh.
But I do
Yeah, Neil
recall,
Bush couldn't run for any office.
No, I do recall that there was some question about a loan he received from an SNL that eventually went under. Now,
Jeb Bush. Let me ask you something. How old is Jeb Bush?
I don't know. In his 40s.
What has he done? Besides...
He's been George Bush's son, and he's been a supposed businessman.
Yeah, businessman. I have no respect, and this is the thing, this Bush with the family values and Barbara Bush, they got 3 sons who are basically living off daddy. That's some family. That's called dysfunctional family. If you ask me, and none of these guys deserve your vote. They're nothing. They're lower than garbage.
Well, I was moving on to George Bush, who is running for governor in Texas against Ann Richards. So
George Bush.
Is George.
Another George Bush. Another guy.
A speech at a campaign rally.
George Bush sat in the White House for
George
4 years.
W. He's
George
not a
W.
George Jr. He's a George W.
Yeah, he must have a great self-image. He's named after a dope.
I'm absolutely amazed that for the past 5 weeks of a gubernatorial race...
You know why people even pay attention to him? Because his father is George Bush. Yeah. This guy has no credentials whatsoever. He's nothing. He's lower than garbage.
My opponent, who is supposedly one of the most popular political figures in our state's history, has spent every dime on TV not talking about your children, not talking about the juvenile justice system, not talking about a vision for the future of Texas, but talking about me.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, that's so funny.
The conclusion I can draw, and the conclusion that Texans will draw, is that she has no vision of the future and is unwilling to tell Texans.
Yeah, but she's not running around with her daddy's name and everything handed to her. Who's that, Ann Richards?
Yes.
I'd vote for Ann Richards any damn time over this Jeb Bush, so-called politician, all of a
George.
sudden.
Jeb is running in Florida.
I wouldn't vote for either of them.
George is running in Texas.
I wouldn't even bother learning who was running. I would just vote immediately for whoever else was there.
Where she's willing to lead.
What is he? Where did he come from?
He's another businessman.
Another businessman from out of nowhere. George W. Bush came into my life. I hope you're just like your father, since you got his name. Sit in that White House for 4 years, do nothing. The only thing he did was vacation. This guy could vacation better than anyone. One thing you got to say about President Clinton, whether you like him or not, the guy works his ass off.
Oh, works his voice to death.
You're not kidding.
Voice anymore.
This George, I don't know what's with that voice, but that George W. Bush, I wouldn't even pay it. The only reason people even know who he is because his father.
It's sad that they were able to make races out of these two elections because of that name.
Bush. You know what a bush is? That's hair that nobody even wants.
That divide us. She is a liberal, and I'm a conservative.
That's what that is.
Well, here's Ann
You know what a
Richards.
bush is?
You just told me.
You're damn right you know. What do you do every couple of weeks to go to the beauty parlor? What do you do to your bush? You try to get rid of it.
What are you talking about?
It's curly and worthless. And no one wants to see it or hear from it. That's what a bush is. A bush. When you're named Bush, you're named after something that is hair that nobody wants.
Do you think that's true? That's where they got the name?
Yeah. They looked at him, they said, you know, he's like a bush. Nobody wants him. A bush shouldn't be seen. That's what a bush is. He's nothing. He's garbage. He's dirt.
Would you play Ann Richards, please?
The great Ann Richards. Who is that?
She is the
that old
current
Yenta?
governor of Texas.
I would keep her right there. Wouldn't touch her.
This is a line in the dirt. This is the time in which we make a decision about the future of Texas.
You said it, honey.
This is when we make the decision of whether our children are going to have a great chance and an opportunity.
What is she yelling? Say what a bush is.
At the good jobs that are going to come to Texas. This is the time for you to make the determination that the doors of government are going to remain open to everybody. And they're not going to be closed in anybody's face anymore. You and I are not going to be standing out there with our nose pressed up against the window hoping somebody notices that we need jobs to take care of our families. We need jobs to take care of ourselves. And we need somebody in the governor's office who, by gosh, has worked for a living.
Yeah. Hey, listen. All right, so you don't sound so great either, but let me tell you something. I'd vote for her any day. These poor people have to get up and make these speeches. You feel bad for them. I've seen her. She's pretty intelligent. Yeah. I'd vote for her. At least she's something.
Well, as she said, she's worked for a living.
She's worked for a living. These bushes all stink. We all know that. You know what a bush? Does you know a bush smells? You know that? I've been with.
Will you please?
That's why they try to get rid of a bush, because it smells, right? It collects odor.
It traps things.
It traps things like a sponge. You could clean pots with those bushes.
It's a filter, and you know how filthy they can get. So put it in there.
You're not kidding, because nobody wants it. And I don't want it. Oh, the nerve. Can you imagine politics has gotten so bad that some guy, because he's named George W. Bush, could run? Shocking. And Richards.
What? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Go on.
That's who I'm for.
All right.
We're on in Texas.
Yes, we are.
God damn it. That's right. Now I'm all fired up.
We're on in Florida and we're on in Texas.
Right. What's going on in Florida?
Jeb Bush.
Jeb Bush. That's some Bush.
Child.
And what is he running for?
Governor.
Jeb, too?
Yes.
He wants to be the governor of Florida.
That's right.
I tell you, you make Governor Bush, I'll never set foot in Florida again. I will never even go there. It's disgraceful. That guy, you can't name me one thing he's for. His father was worthless, and they're worthless. and their children will be worthless.
Oh, boy.
Feed him to an alligator.
Oh. And then the most expensive race run in the country is the senatorial race between Dianne Feinstein and Michael Huffington out in California.
I bet you I have an opinion on that if I knew something about it. I don't really know about it. I've been trying to read up on that.
Well, Huffington has spent $27 million of his own on his race to get elected to the Senate of the United States. So here is Dianne Feinstein to make her statement about why she should be reelected.
I bet she at least debated Huffington. Where's the great orator?
Don't let a United States Senate seat be bought. A United States...
All right, honey. I don't know who I'm for in this one.
A United States Senate seat should be earned.
What's her story? What is she, gay or is she...
No, she's not gay.
No?
She was the...
she sounds gay.
Mayor of San Francisco.
Oh, the
That's
mayor.
Probably why you think that. And she's been in the Senate for the last 6 years.
She must be Jewish with a name like Feinstein.
I would think that you would be right there.
And you see, all she's talking about is money. Don't let it be bought.
And they both apparently had a little problem, you know, immigration, big issue out in California.
I see.
They both apparently have had problems employing illegal aliens.
It's my money, not the special interest money from the lobbyists, particularly, which is most egregious to me, are the trial lawyers associations. Unbelievable. The tobacco industry, the gambling casinos. Guess what? Mrs. Feinstein, when she got $3 million from the labor unions, voted against NAFTA. Why did she vote against NAFTA? Got 3 million reasons why she voted against it. I voted for NAFTA. It was good for California. It was good for business. It was good for jobs.
Well, look, I can't comment on that race because I don't know either one.
I was just going to tell you that they, you know, first Huffington had to admit that, yes, he had employed an illegal alien knowing that she didn't have a green card, and then when she didn't get a green card, he continued to employ her, even though he denied this in the press earlier. And then shortly after Dianne Feinstein started to attack him for that, it was determined that she had also hired an illegal alien at some point.
Well, it sounds like a standoff. I don't know either one, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm glad I live here. All right, let me take a break.
Yes, and that's so get out and vote today.
Yeah, get out and vote, and let's
exercise your right.
Let's wake up to a new governor tomorrow. Oh, please, let's have that happen. Let's have a miracle. Come on, stop being afraid. What are you afraid of?
Let's all do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it. Do it. All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
It's the Howard Stern Show. Here's Howard.
Oh.
I like this song. Let's end the show with this song today. Do you have this song?
Probably not.
No?
Got caught stealing.
Been caught stealing.
Or been caught stealing.
Been caught stealing?
Yeah, been caught stealing. I love that song.
There's a guy out front who's here from Germany, and he said he bought your book in Germany, in German.
Get out of here.
He bought it in Dusseldorf, and he even told me what the title was in German.
What is it?
What is it?
It's Privato, and I didn't get the second word.
Let me just 2 seconds with this guy, because I got to get out of here. I have an appointment.
Who are you seeing today?
I don't have an appointment.
Oh.
I just want to seem to the audience like I'm busy. With something. Can't understand it. If you look busy, people employ you.
Are you now telling us that the Jay Leno thing is all over? You shouldn't be hearing from Jay today?
Oh, I don't know. It's supposed to be over, but hey, how you doing, my crowd friend? Get over here.
This is Chris from
Hans.
Germany.
That's Hans. Put your hand over. God, you look like a Nazi. Unbelievable.
Well,
he is a Nazi.
He's the only kind of people left in Germany.
I know. He killed everyone else, you bastard.
Yes, I did.
All right. How are you? You like Jews?
Yes, I love them.
Really?
Yeah.
You love the Jews?
You don't know any.
Steven Spielberg, man.
Spielberg rules.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. Your father was a Nazi?
Everybody was a Nazi.
Really? Seriously?
Yeah.
Does everyone walk around with a guilt trip, or they're not really that all upset about it?
No, my father is a very honest and straight person.
What does he do? He says, hey, look, I got caught up in something. I was in over my head?
No, he is like, he loves Jewish people.
Really?
They give him a big impression about life and about things happening.
Yeah, but what about during the war? How does he explain that?
Well, he did not live in the times of war, so it was okay.
Oh, he didn't?
No, he did not.
He didn't participate?
He was...
he wasn't a Jew killer?
35, so he was a kid. Then the kids of Roosevelt came and said, hey, George, come on, let's finish
What's
the war.
What's this guy talking about?
I don't know. The kids of Roosevelt.
I don't know.
Yeah, the kids of Roosevelt. We call them the Americans.
Is that right? I don't know what you're talking about. Who cares? Let bygones be bygones.
I don't know how he understood your book.
So wait a second. You bought my book in Germany?
Yeah.
And it's translated into German?
Yes.
And you didn't bring it?
Who did that?
I did not know that you were here. Man, you're big in Düsseldorf.
Really? You mean I have a following in Germany?
Yes.
Well, you're like the Beatles, Howard.
Seriously.
How do you know that? You mean they read my book over there?
No, that the fact is that I know a person over here. She just showed me the book, and I said, I saw this guy in Düsseldorf in a bookstore. It was very close to...
Are you on drugs?
I'm never.
You are not on drugs? You are not taking on crack cocaine?
No, I'm sorry.
All right. Because I don't know. You tend to shift a little in your speech.
Yeah, I was thinking about...
answer my questions. I'll make it simple for you.
Yes.
All right, Hans, listen to me.
I think you have to interrogate him.
You Germans, you have to interrogate. You got to break them down.
No, but I know what you're talking about, Howard. He's got that John Boy Walton icy glare.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Don't mind. No, I
Now, did they reshoot all the pictures with German people in them?
Yeah.
In my book, they did? You're kidding me.
You look like a different guy.
Oh, get out of here. That's impossible.
No, it is possible.
I
It's
see.
very big in the...
This guy's putting me on.
I don't know what is
What was the name of the book in Germany?
What is the name of my book in German?
Private Teile.
Private
Teile.
Are you gay?
No.
Are you straight? I don't know what... You are? I don't know.
I am.
I don't know what to... You're a good-looking guy, though.
Thank you, Howard.
I tell you, the Germans are fantastic-looking people. One thing about the breeding process over there, they weeded out anybody ugly. I'll tell you that.
Breeding process.
The breeding process.
Yes, oh boy. Hitler created a couple of nice-looking guys.
Thanks.
You're a handsome man. I wish I looked like you. I wish I had my brain in your head. You understand? Exactly. All right. Now, let me ask you something.
Are you nervous?
Are you nervous?
Yes.
Oh, boy.
Are you going to pee in your pants? Are you going to vomit on Jackie? I tell you, it's unbelievable.
Ooh, I think he's going to have a fit.
You're a good-looking guy. Watch who you mate with, though. Don't ruin Hitler's dream.
No, I won't.
All right.
You're on the right track there. Don't mess up.
Yeah.
Is it the tag track again?
What?
You have a tag track on 1-800?
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy, this guy's out of it.
No,
maybe Hitler didn't know what he was doing.
You know what? Maybe the physical thing worked, but the brain is all screwed.
Yeah, right. What do you do for a living, Junior?
I'm an actor.
Oh, boy.
Oh, that explains a lot.
I see. I don't know how your father wasn't in the war, but...
He was not. He was a kid.
child.
He was
How
a
old are
child.
you?
I'm 28. He's like 50-something.
Really?
Yeah, he was a kid, man.
He was in Hitler Youth?
No, his uncle. No, my uncle. No, his brother was.
In Hitler Youth?
Yeah, but now he has multiple sclerosis.
Which is?
Which is the sickness, awful, goddamn thing goes down your...
All right.
Like multiple sclerosis? Is that what it is?
Yes.
Oh.
So Grandpa killed all the Jews. Is that what it was?
No, even not my grandpa. He was big in industry, and I think he even worked with Schindler and...
Everybody worked with Schindler.
Schindler, I see. Yeah, sure. All right, listen, whatever.
Raising money to get all those
sure.
Jews. He bought them all back.
You got a funny speech pattern, you know that? I think you were hit in the head by a V-2 rocket.
No.
All right, let me get this straight. So you're an actor? Did you ever act in anything, or you just call yourself an actor?
No, I acted so many things. I've been to...
You are on the screen, or what?
You were on the screen?
Yeah, I was on the screen with this Willie Bogner stuff.
Who?
Willie Bogner.
Never heard of him.
This is commercial.
Willie
right now.
Bogner.
Yeah, don't say it, man. It's a commercial. Bogner, this is fashion. It's like Adidas or Puma.
This guy's insane.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Adidas.
Adidas.
All right, let me ask you something. So you bought my book, you saw it in the store, and
Yeah.
it's translated into German.
It is already translated. I don't have to.
I would love to see a copy of my book in German.
I will be back on the 1st of December. I can send one.
Would you do that for me?
I swear I would.
You would do that?
Yes.
All right. Well, you're not a bad guy, I guess.
It's big over there. It's not like Scientology. It's like there's Ulrich Wickert. This is a radio moderator in Germany.
Yes, go ahead. I'm following you so far.
And he came from Paris back to Cologne and said, I made a lot of experiences in France. And so this book is on the right, and you're in the middle, and on the left there is this Hubbard thing, you know, the scary stuff.
Yeah. Scientology?
Yes.
Is this guy scamming us, or
I don't
is he
know
putting
what
me
he's
on?
talking about.
We have a street
How
which is very famous. It's like Madison Avenue, so it's Königsallee.
What are you doing here in New York?
I have a real beautiful Italian Boston girl.
Oh, I see. Here for a girl.
Yeah.
All right, that makes sense.
Do you know Molina?
Molina, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And she told me, Chris, come
That's
on.
the capital of Germany, isn't it? Molina?
No.
I thought Molina was in Kiss of the Spider Woman. He was one of the prisoners.
Molina McCurry?
No. Molina Bonanno. It means good year.
This guy's got to be high.
I don't know.
What's the capital of Germany?
It's half Bonn, and the Americans just want Berlin because John F. Kennedy came to Berlin and said, Ich bin ein Berliner. But actually, it's Cologne.
What was Hitler's first name?
Hitler does not exist, by the way, Howard. His name was Schinkelgruber.
All right. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
Hitler. No, this is a fact.
Freddie's got to count to 10 in German. Fred knows it. Count to 10 in German.
Count to 10 in German.
No, you have to. I know.
No, you count to it. 10. Go ahead.
Slowly.
No, he's German. He's German.
No, listen. Schinkelgruber was an actor.
All right, listen, I know what you're doing.
Out of here.
I can't take it. You're boring everyone. Out and Z. Out and Z. Rouse. Out and Z. All right?
Okay.
You're too goofy for words.
Okay.
All right, listen. Congratulations on coming over here from Germany. Forget the war, I guess. I'll never forget.
Yes, I guess we got it.
You've obviously forgotten. You've rewritten history. When are you going back to the homeland? The fatherland. When are you going to the fatherland?
I told you already.
Go back and tell your people I hate them. All right, go back. You're going to be my messenger.
Hate you, man.
I could care less what they hate, those crowds. I'll tell you something. We're going to end up in another war with you people. And watch out, because I'm going to come over there and kick some ass. Go home and tell them. Go home and start fires. Go ahead. Go back to those filth. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
You got to disassociate yourself from some of those crowds.
Okay.
I don't forget World War II. You know how many of our guys ended up over there dying in that war? I'm not saying you're a bad guy.
The Nazis did this too.
Nazis.
They were German.
But remember, we kicked your ass.
I know.
Frigging asses into the ground.
What a bad attitude.
You're damn right. And we'll do it again, and we'll end up doing it again. I guarantee you, a reunited Germany, Robin.
We'll get into trouble.
We'll get into trouble, and they will get all full of themselves again.
You're already in.
What? Yeah, I know it. And let me tell you something. You're laughing it up now. You're having a great old time with your acting and all that. I guarantee you'll be in a pair of jack boots, and I'll be over there with my gun. I'll give you the shiv right in the ass. All right? You understand?
I would love it.
All right.
Okay.
You're not a bad guy. You just go over and you tell the people.
Okay.
All right? Tell them all.
Yes.
All right?
Yes.
And while we kick your ass, we're going to kick the French's ass, too. One day, that's my greatest dream.
And then the Italians?
I got no beef with the Italians. It's the French. I hate the French worse than the Nazis. Yeah? I hate them worse.
Why?
I thought you said you read my book.
Yeah, I read your book.
So what did I say about the French?
Yeah. It's like you open the book.
Okay, let me see if you learned anything. What did I say about the French?
You were You open the book and it's.
I didn't say that. You're crazy. What are you talking about?
He never read the book.
I read the book. He read a book. Where's mine?
No,
I think somebody put my name on it. I wasn't translated into German.
You were. I'm
really?
sorry.
Would you send it to me?
Send us the book.
All right.
I'll send you the book.
Watch the French. They love you Germans.
Okay.
I'll tell you something. The French. I'd like to pee in a bucket and freeze it and drop it off a building on their heads. Right?
But we have Christo.
Right.
You know what he's doing? He's packing the Reichstag.
Yes.
What the heck is he talking about now?
I don't know. He's talking about stuff. I don't know. I'm trying to communicate with the Germans. No wonder we had to kick their ass.
He's cocking his head like he's hearing a signal.
He's talking to Mars. All right, go ahead. Go back to your people and tell them what I said. What did I say? What are you going to tell your people? No, we're going to go over there and kick their
Germans
ass.
And you would die for them because you love them so much.
All right, go ahead. I like you. Go ahead. Go ahead, Junior. You did a good job here. That's, by the way, that's Klaus. Rausen Raus.
He was whack.
It was a whack.
Oh, and we thought we had all the nuts right here.
Why don't they send me a big, stupid, blonde farm girl instead of one of those characters?
The big, stupid guys are the only ones who come.
Come here. What was his problem?
I don't know.
George Pataki was governor. That guy wouldn't be around.
Yeah, how'd he get a visa to get into the country?
I thought he was a Tinkerbell, but he says no. Anyway, go ahead, Robin. You had to finish the
woman
news.
in South Carolina, Susan Smith, she's now in solitary confinement, continuing that 24-hour suicide watch. She was not allowed to go to her children's funeral on Sunday. And she has also
oh, no kidding.
Not been allowed to view any television, so she didn't even see the funeral on TV. He said she's not allowed to watch TV, and she's not even allowed to watch or look at a newspaper. I don't know why they have to keep the media from her.
Yeah, who cares if she kills herself?
But
she's a coward. She won't kill herself.
She's despondent at this point.
Well, she just killed her 2 kids. What's the matter with her?
The lawyer for Susan Smith says he has not ruled out using an insanity defense to get her off.
No, we're the insane ones. We should cut off her feet and make her eat her own feet. And then she'd choke on them, on the nails.
I know that Donahue went down to that little town.
I saw that.
Interviewed the people there yesterday.
What a bunch of rubes.
Well, this is what I said. You know, they were all carrying on about what a smart girl she was.
Yeah.
Look at the people she was going to school.
Did you see that? They say she was the valedictorian of her school, this Susan Smith. And when you see who was in that auditorium with Donahue, you could see why she was the valedictorian. And being the valedictorian, you know what she ended up doing?
She worked at the Winn-Dixie.
She worked at Winn-Dixie.
That's a supermarket.
Barely. For hillbillies. You could be the valedictorian and still count on your fingers down there. Use your fingers and toes. Unbelievable.
Carrying on about, she had such good grades.
Yeah.
You got to consider.
Big deal. That's like going to retard school.
But you do have to admit, Oprah will be down there, I guess, today. She's...
yes, she'll save the day.
Considering... she's taking up the topic of this whole Susan Smith incident on her show today.
And I like all the people who are like, we feel betrayed by this girl. We feel so, we thought she was a good mother.
She had our support.
Yeah.
And look at what she did with it.
I like the black guys who get on and go, we're upset. She accused a black man of doing this. And then people was looking at us funny. So, well, what do you want? I mean, we're looking for a suspect. What are you supposed to do? But it was obvious to anyone. It was obvious to anyone in the North that this woman had killed her own child.
Yeah.
Took them down there in the South a couple of months to figure it out.
But what was funny to me, there were like at least 3 black guys on the stage who fit that composite photograph.
Every black guy down there looked like that composite photo. I would have arrested every one of them. I would have given them all the gas chamber.
It was so funny to me. I said, look, all 3 of those guys up on the stage look just like the composite photograph.
Oh, wait till Oprah gets down there. She'll start remembering she was drowned as a child. And she'll have a flashback. She's molested. She's drowning.
Yes, but you know why this is such a big story. I mean, we have people up here killing their kids all the time.
Right. It's nothing here.
But
we kill our young all the time.
The reason is because it's supposed to be so beautiful and wonderful in the South and in the hinterlands where there are only, these fine white families.
I took a look at where that Susan Smith...
all devastated and shocked that this mother killed her children.
Here we kill our children just to make room for more children. But I took a look at that crowd down there. I think she did those kids a favor.
They won't have to grow up with those accents.
Yeah. It was a mercy kill. Yeehaw! Well, they got a good death penalty down there. They'll probably give her the gas. Not a bad-looking broad, I'll tell you. I saw some pictures of her.
Well, she was in her younger days. She had fallen on hard times, obviously.
Yeah. No, not bad. I would do her.
Did you see the recent? You saw those pieces of tape of her recently.
Still would do her. Still would do her.
Oh, Howard.
I'd have sex with you. You don't know what I used to have sex with. You see me now as the star. I can get it up for that.
All right.
Well, they ought to fry her. Fry her with fish on her lap. So they'll have something to eat after they fry her. So they'll have some food. After the big fry down.
It was so funny because one guy got up and said, "Are you a hard-working person?" Yeah. Well, do you want to be paying for her for the rest of her life?
There you
and
go.
they were talking about the death penalty. She should get it just so they don't have to support her anymore.
Believe me, though, I looked her over. I'd have sex with her. I'm embarrassed to say it. I know.
Well, you'd have sex with her even now after she drowned the kids.
Robin, I'd have sex with her in the car she drowned the kids in. What do you think of that? That's how horny I am.
Oh, well.
That's how much I love women. The crazier, the better.
You'd even have children with her.
Show me a woman who kills her own kids, I'll show you a good time in the sack.
Wow. Do anything. Try harder.
Meanwhile, this 14-year-old kid, Eric Smith, who was 13 when he beat a little 4-year-old boy, Derek Roby, to death, got 9 years to life for killing this 4-year-old yesterday. His lawyer was arguing that Eric has a mental disorder due to the fact that his mother was on epileptic drugs when she was carrying him, and that he shouldn't be given such a severe sentence because he needed to be in treatment.
Well, who would let him out ever? Did you see that kid?
Yes, I've seen him.
Yeah, I saw him sitting there. He looked as wacky as Fred. Sits there with the same blank stare. Who would
let Fred out?
Yeah, but Fred didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, Tommy.
Well, they're now saying that he has explosive... What do they call it? Explosive something disorder.
Explosive disorder. Yeah. I know what that is.
Explosive gas? No.
Explosive disorder. That's just a disorder. Explosive disorder.
There's some kind of explosive anger disorder or something.
And the kid's sitting there. You don't know what's going on. But you got to lock a kid like that. Who would let him out? He's Freddy Krueger.
He lured this poor little boy into the woods, telling him he knew a shortcut to their day camp. And then once he got him there, he said just all this anger built up in him, and something went click, and the next thing he knew, the kid was dead. So.
Yeah, great.
Certainly you want him to grow up and get bigger and then
grow up and come out and kill more people. No, he has to be locked away for life in a mental institution. I saw the kid on TV. He could drown someone with his drool. It's a mess.
But they never said what he said about the thing. But I do recall the police officers who interviewed him after the crime saying he didn't seem to have any remorse.
A 9-year-old should be tried as an adult.
He was 13.
Whatever. Oh, by the way, that kid's voting for Cuomo, I bet. Being a convicted felon now, he will want to vote for Cuomo because he might get out. He might get color television, too. No death penalty.
Oh, I forgot to mention the races in Virginia and Washington, D.C., where they're trying to elect a mayor, and in Virginia, where they're trying to elect a senator.
Well, first of all, forget about
Oliver North and Chuck Robb.
Forget about mayor for Washington, because that's not even our country anymore, Washington, D.C. That's a different country. It is Africa. And I think they're getting somebody new to run the tribe down there, because this is not normal behavior. They're taking a crack guy, a guy who they got on tape buying crack, and they're making him the mayor. So forget about him. I don't even want to talk about it.
Right.
Don't talk about it.
All
right, what do you got to say about him?
Nothing. I just said I forgot to mention it when I was mentioning the races.
Mayor Schmayer. We need a fence around everything south of West Orange. Hey, let me, and this Virginia race.
With Robb and Oliver North.
What does the poll say? Who is ahead?
I think it's a close race. I think they're neck and neck.
That's unbelievable. Who would vote for Oliver North? I don't say Robb's any prize. But Oliver North is really one of the most despicable people. That has done nothing for anybody. Has no record of public service. Grab a coal miner at random, and they'll be better off down there. So go for Chuck Robb, just because Oliver North doesn't deserve that kind of ego gratification. That's like making me the governor. I deserve it more than he does. He's Bernadette Castro with a weenie. He's nothing. He's worse than Bernadette Castro. If Bernadette Castro is lower than garbage, he's lower than Bernadette Castro. Because he lies. He's a liar. And got off on a technicality.
And also, of course, there's the Mitt Romney-Ted Kennedy race up in Massachusetts.
I don't know anything about it. That one, I don't even know.
It looks like Kennedy's getting back.
They love Kennedy up there. He could do no wrong. And maybe it's good. What do I know? Let him up there. That big red nose of his.
Judge Ito ruled yesterday.
Yeah, like this took anyone by surprise. You think this guy Ito would want to be off TV?
He decided that the cameras can remain
course.
in the courtroom.
Of course.
For the O.J. Simpson trial. Meanwhile, the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, anybody hoping they'd be able to see gavel-to-gavel coverage of O.J. on the networks will be disappointed. They have decided they'll go to hourly updates.
The CNN is going to carry the whole thing.
Oh, yeah, but there are a lot of people. You know, you have cable, of course, being very wealthy.
Of course, very popular, powerful man.
But there are some people who still have to rely on free television, Howard.
No. I'll tell you something.
What?
I'm going to watch that case.
Oh, I can't wait.
I can't wait for it. And, of course, Judge Ito... First of all, Judge Ito doesn't have a legal leg to stand on to ban the cameras, number one. Number two, he would have to show a reason why cameras shouldn't be in the courtroom. But number two, the most important reason, he loves it. This is the most exciting thing that ever happened to him.
He's the only one affected, actually, by the media.
In fact, if there were no cameras in there, I don't even think Judge Ito would show up for the trial.
Trial be over already.
Right.
He's delaying it, prolonging it, because he loves all the attention.
If you notice, once they started taking it off TV, no one even asked Judge Ito what's going on. Before, they were quoting him on Saturday Night Live.
Right.
And, you know, they're asking his opinion on television shows. This is the greatest thing that could happen to a judge. He could do anything he wants now. He could be Superman.
Oh, he doesn't even have to be a judge anymore when he...
Right. When he's done, he's going to have movies. They're getting him for a movie.
He'd be on television. That's right.
Warren Littlefield's putting him in a spinoff. It's Seinfeld meets Judge Ito. Smart man.
Listen to this. In Los Angeles, with all the other trials going on, there's Heidi Fleiss, there's O.J. Who can get any attention for their own little case?
Jackie Marlowe.
But I found this in the New York Times today. The heirs of the Three Stooges fortune, whatever that is.
Fortune? What fortune? Yeah.
Are fighting with each other.
Mo, Larry, and Curly's relatives are fighting with each other?
Whoever's left.
Isn't that funny? They fought and made a living out of it.
Why you?
Why
That's
you?
Right, the,
hey, you.
Bobbing each other over the head continues with the children and the grandchildren, I guess. The heirs of Mo Howard have been accused of illegally withholding merchandising income from the heirs of his fellow stooges, Joe DeRita.
Oh, God.
A.K.A. Curly Joe.
And who else?
And Larry Fine.
Of course.
The case gets even better, Howard, because...
Larry never said a word, and Mo invented everything the Three Stooges ever did.
But listen to this. He had to have somebody to hit.
Yeah, that's true. Could have hit a wall.
Wouldn't have been as funny. But one of the plaintiffs is being...
Joe DeRita.
Yeah. One of the plaintiffs is being represented by Bela Lugosi Jr. who is
great.
well over 6 feet tall, with gray-white hair and a face that resembles his father's.
Yes.
One of the attorneys says, when I met him, he said, let's get this out of the way. The attorney said, are you to him? And he said, yes, grandson, no son. That was the end of it.
Wow.
That's what Bela Lugosi, the lawyer, says.
So Bela Lugosi is representing Joe DeRita
and Larry Fine.
And Larry Fine of the Three Stooges.
Yes. Well, they're heirs because Larry and, of course, Joe are not here with us anymore.
And the judge is Lucille Ball's daughter. Lucy Jr. Lucy.
So they're all fighting it out in court. How much money could there be?
Oh, a fortune.
Get a job.
The Stooges case began last year when Jean DeRita, the widow of Joe, got in touch with two lawyers who, in turn, brought in Mr. Lugosi.
Hello, this is Bela Lugosi Jr. Hello, how are you? Yes, Mr. Lugosi. Please call me Bella. Miss Bella, I am Jean DeRita, the wife of Joe DeRita of the Three Stooges. Are you putting me on? No, I want to sue the other Stooges' relatives for everything I have coming to me. I don't handle that, but my partner Bozo does.
Bozo
You mean
Jr.
Bozo Jr., the son of Larry Harmon. You are kidding me. You mean you are in business with Bozo Jr.? That is correct. I'll transfer you immediately to Bozo Jr. He will represent you against the other stooges. It will be great. Mrs. Dorita will be represented by Bozo Jr. Are you satisfied? Yes. You know, my husband was never treated properly by the stooges. Yes, I can understand that. My grandfather was never given the proper respect in the industry that he deserved. He died a broken man. Well, my husband was the guy who came on the screen and everyone just went, oh, crap, where's Curly? I understand. To hear people say, oh, crap, where's Curly must have been very frustrating. Now, listen to me. I will call my assistant, Captain Kangaroo III, and he will call you for a court date where you can meet with Bozo Jr. That is right. The person who sets the court date is Captain Kangaroo III. And I am Bela Lugosi Jr. By the way, I don't know if you know it, but Mr. Green Jeans is very horny.
Oh, well, the 3 fine grandchildren.
They are fine indeed.
No, I meant they're Larry Fine's grandchildren.
Do not prejudice the court. We are up against these people.
No, these are all the people you represent.
Screw them.
They were joined into the case later.
Look into my eyes, Robin. Look deeper. You will vote for Joe Dorita and Larry Fine's family. You are getting horny and sleepy.
It seems that Mo was the business and creative leader of the comedy team, and by mutual agreement handled the financial arrangements for all.
Mo was a figure.
What are you talking about?
I'm building my case.
Mr. Lugosi?
Mo was a figure. He was into loving butts. I am just trying to build a case. No proof. I am just trying to build my case any way I can. Mo. His family should give us the money equally.
And then Mo's son got the job of running the finances, and he managed to license out a lot of stuff.
Where is their money?
And then he died in 1986.
That is right.
His widow, Joan, and their son, Jeffrey, took over the administration of stooge income.
It is very sad when someone dies, but do not fear death.
It is at this point that the two sides have a problem with what happens later.
Are you afraid of death?
No.
Do you welcome it?
No.
Mo welcome death. Mo Jr. welcome death.
Now they're saying Mo's daughter-in-law misadministered the funds.
Mo's daughter-in-law is the one I must go after.
She commingled the funds.
I told Joe Dorita's widow. I said to her to console her, I said, relax. Hop along Cassidy's kids didn't get squat either. But it did not help.
And she only gave the Dorita and Fine heirs about 7% of the roughly $2.5 million in income and interest.
We are suing over the name Dorita. That is the chip. I believe we have rights to it.
You're some lawyer. You see a case everywhere.
Everywhere there is a case.
So that's what the big argument is about. What happened after Mo's son died?
Look into my eyes. Let me bite your hooters.
Oh.
I'm a horny vampire. I hear you like Tom Cruise.
I do, yes.
Rip off on us. I'm suing him. As soon as I'm done with the Dorita case. And Bozo Jr.
Are you done now?
You know, we never received the proper reparations of the Bozo show. I will be suing there, too. With Judge Lugosi.
But so Bela Lugosi is handling the case. He has some experience of it because when he was in law school, he and his mother
at Vampire U
went back into court.
Did you see the movie about my father? Ed Wood.
Yes, I did.
Martin Landau played my father.
Uh-huh.
I'll sue him and William Shatner. William Shatner's hard to work with. You know,
you're having trouble with that film, too. You think that your grandfather was mocked.
He was mocked. You know, I am thinking of taking in a new partner, Gabby Hayes Jr.
But anyway, he sued Universal Studios when he was a law student.
Yeah. I did.
Contending that the unauthorized sale of Bela Lugosi's likeness as Dracula was going on, and they weren't getting any money.
Yes, I
Lugosi versus Universal.
Was I successful?
And was decided in your favor.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm a good liar.
Unfortunately, the decision was overturned by a superior court.
Well, things don't always go your way, as my grandfather could tell you.
Yes, that's true.
He was a great actor, Bela Lugosi, and yet he died a broken man. Much like the widow Dorita.
Yes.
Joe Dorita was a great stooge. You don't understand.
You thought he was better than the real Curly.
Absolutely. That is what I told Mrs. Dorito. Same thing with Igor.
Igor?
Yes.
I thought it was Igor.
Igor. Igor was never treated with respect. I know his grandson, Igor the Third.
What does he do now?
Not much. He's one sorry bastard. I'm having trouble with this accent. So is that the story, Rob?
That's what's happening. I just wanted you to know that the Stooges heirs are fighting over money.
Remember, if you ever need to sue, call me or Larry Harmon Jr. By the way, the people at Reicher Films are geniuses.
Well, you would know.
Right. Joe Dorito was not as good as Curly, but much better than Shemp. Robin, bite me. Let me open my zebra.
Do you? Oh, dear.
I want to say one thing before I leave the show.
What?
Vote for Pataki. He's a good man.
Well, anyway, I wish them luck in their case. I believe Joe Dorita he deserves what he deserves.
He was always getting short.
Yeah, I'm with Bela Lugosi the third there. Bela Lugosi. Whatever. I'm with that lawyer, that particular lawyer. All right, very good, Robin.
That's what's happening,
all right,
folks.
Jackie, hand me your plugs. Don't forget the E-Show tonight as we goof on Scott for a solid 30 minutes. Just solid, relentless goofing on Scott the engineer. Also, Jackie New Rave Joke Page Martling. Order Jackie's Wild Comedy CD or cassette. $10 plus free shipping and handling. Holiday special. Buy two, get one free. Call 1-800-323-KING. This Saturday night, November 12th, one big show at the world-famous Club Benet in Sayreville, New Jersey. For dirty jokes and info, call 516-922-WINE. Remember, 516-922-WINE is not a pay service. And don't miss Boy Gary when is it? This Saturday? Yeah. With the Gary and Ed from noon to 2 p.m. at Top Supply and City in Long Island City. Don't miss Stuttering John appearing in Tony and Tina's wedding starting tomorrow, November 9th. And to order a signed copy of Stuttering John's great new CD, call 201-942... Ouch. If you're planning a wedding or Christmas party and you need a mobile DJ, now's the time to call Scott the Engineer's Rocket Entertainment at 718-BAG-5040. Or as Scott always says,
use it the way you like it while I wipe the grease off of my skin head.
All right. And we'll be goofing on you on E tonight. What is it, John? What are you doing here?
I got your CD. I got
Oh, did you get it?
Yeah.
Oh, good man. All right.
Which cut is
it's
that?
Number 3.
All right. Give me number 3.
It's in CD 3.
So you got it in there already?
I got it in there.
It's track 5. Is that okay?
I believe so.
Okay. This is good. This is when, what's his name, was with Jane's Addiction.
Perry Farrell.
Perry Farrell.